Have a hanging Chad.
Go away.
Fucking
Oh,
whoa,
God
God,
damn it.
this is so
2004.
beautiful.
Like you make me
This is so
kick
beautiful.
myself.
Gotta fix streaming desktop.
Was that 2000? I can't remember which one that was. I just remember it was one of the Bush elections.
That was 2000.
Yeah,
2000.
2000 sounds about right. I don't.
Okay, so is it broadcasting?
Sure.
Because for some reason it's spinning on mine.
It's broadcasting.
Great. Okay, so then let's back to where we were. So we left off, Aiden came in, grasped onto Mel's shirt, and fell to the ground saying, "Hide me," or was kind of tumbling down to fall. I mean, you recognize the wound on his back with a medicine check of 17 is very grievous. He is dying. It looks like he is bleeding
All right.
as well. The wound is probably about 2.5 feet long and probably a good 6 inches wide.
Holy shit.
That
Okay,
is
when I see that,
Wow.
what I
main
would
width.
do, Mel would, he's used to this combat wounds and everything. So he would immediately take action by casting Cure Wounds on him, and I would probably actually bump that up to like a level 3 spell. So,
No
Mel,
worries
do
about
you-
the rolls. Don't worry about it. Again,
Okay.
we're doing it for dramatic,
All right.
theater of the
Alright.
mind stuff. But you basically place your hands on the wound and kind of hold and start praying, and the wound starts to close. It doesn't look like Aiden kind of like pops back up or anything. He does look like he's still kind of unconscious. After that's done, Hawk, what are you doing?
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
Door's still
I
open,
would
rain's
like
still-
to say again.
The door's still open. The rain's still beating down.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to actually go out the door and close it behind me. And actually, is there a back way out of the house, or is just the one door?
So we never really discussed like the floor plan for the house, but I'm going to assume that it's a 2-bedroom. Both bedrooms are kind of on the back end of the house, and then there's like the main room, which kind of has like a cook pot area, which is like in front of the fireplace, and there are probably back windows out of those 2 bedrooms, but there's no other door besides the front.
So there aren't windows in the front either.
No, so there would be just the chimney of the. Actually, there'd probably be a window. Yeah, let's go with one.
Okay, so I would, if there are any kind of blinds or drapes, I would pull them closed, and I would want to actually go out the front door and close it behind me and see if I could see if there's any sign of people around.
Okay. Make a perception check for me.
Sure.
First roll of the night, Andy.
Well, Andy's first roll. You had the first roll with the medicine check. Nice one, though.
First roll for him, though.
So you're looking out the back, you said, kind of looking around the house?
No, actually, I went out the front
Out the
door.
front
I closed
door
the door
and looked
behind me, and I'm just sort of taking a peek. I'm obviously not trying to draw attention to myself because I'm worried that Aiden is being followed.
Got it. So up ahead, I would say maybe 3 blocks down, you can see a small bit of light kind of hanging just over a normal human's height. You would immediately recognize it as the typical torch of a city guard. When city guards are on patrol, they walk around with a staff, and at the end of that staff is a small chain with another piece of staff connected to it. That second piece of staff can be removed, and a lantern can be placed on that chain instead. So basically, they hold the staffs kind of up over their heads, and the light kind of broadcasts out from them.
Got it. Okay, so I would want to slip back inside, close the door, again, make sure the window is covered, and go back to the back windows and cover that as well.
Okay. Okay. It does look like those, before you kind of go in though, it does look like those 2 guards are kind of going from door to door, kind of like knocking on the doors and talking to the people inside.
Right. So I would definitely want to say that and say that if there's a place to hide Aiden, we need to do that, or get him out the back somehow if there's not a place to hide him.
Okay, so what do you
Well,
think,
hold on a
Zelbor?
second. I would like to say, first of all, I was in my room playing my instrument, so I want to come in and be like, all right, what was all that noise just now?
Can I keep going? Is there any kind of remnants of the struggle when he came in? Is there blood on the door or on the floor, or?
With your perception check, you would have noticed that there's a long kind of just, slick path like on the ground. But it doesn't look like there's any blood left. Like, it does look like there's spots where you can kind of see like a small tinge of red, with your perception check of crazy high, but the rain seems to be covering his tracks. He
Okay.
was kind of dragging along a sloshing cloak of blood, but the rain seems to kind of basically cover his tracks.
Right, and there were no dogs with guard.
No dogs.
Okay.
They don't
Wait,
typically.
Malik, who
dogs
is
in
that?
Kitty Watcher.
What's
So-
going on, guys?
Zelbor. So I guess I come out of the room and I say, Zelbor, Iden is in there. He had a grievous wound. I healed him. But what's going on outside, Hawk? That's what I say.
Right, and so Hawk would explain what he's seen and his concern that the city guard is going door to door. That they're
As soon as I hear that, I want to go into the room, and I want to cast Seeming on Iden and make him look like an old woman.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Is that going to work if they know that that he can change his his face and stuff? Are they just going to think, oh, that could be him and drag him downtown?
well, they would think they would be dragging everybody downtown.
Well, true,
Um,
but what if they follow the blood?
Don't worry about. Again, you guys are overthinking it, just like you.
Blood is
normally
good.
do.
So Hawk is
Just
going to
go
get out
with
of the
it.
way. Hawk's out of the way because they probably know Hawk and he's kind of discredited. So is there a way that he can sort of hide himself?
Sure.
I can cast Seeming on you at the same time and make you both look like old women.
Super.
So they both look like old women
They
now.
both look like old women. Okay.
Okay, I think Zelbor should take care of the guards because they're probably going to come to our door. And you
Actually,
be prepared
wait
to
a
say
second.
something.
I want to amend that. One of them looks like an old tiefling woman. One of them looks like an old merfolk woman.
Oh, they're our moms.
There are
That is so
moms.
clever. I love it.
They're like golden girls.
Okay. Okay, you cast that spell, and Zach, you kind of, you kind of feel the healing. You're still a bit unconscious though. And then Hawk, you're now an old woman, and so are you, Mel. Like,
No, he does it on Iden, right? Or does he do it on me
Yeah,
too?
it's on Iden. And
oh right,
on-
sorry,
And Hawk.
I meant Zach.
And
You
Hawk.
feel really good, Zach, but you don't know that you're a girl right now. But it's not like it's a big deal, because it's probably not your first rodeo.
Too
Shapeshifter.
much fun.
Yeah, dude. I got
Hey,
you.
Dear, you should sit down, please. You don't want to get too excited. I'm saying this to Hawk now, who's like my mother.
Yes, go sit in the rocking chair.
And you guys kind of like try to look casual, sitting in your seats.
I
Yeah.
bring out one of my instruments and just start playing it gently, not terribly loudly, just softly.
And
So I guess we're gonna get rid of any bloody cloak that might have been around.
yeah, we'll have to do that.
Well, any cloak that's around him will look like whatever clothes that the old woman is wearing right now.
Perfectly fine. So how long do you sit around just hanging out?
We're just kind of waiting to see what happens. I mean, seeming lasts for 8 hours, so
Yeah, what time of the day was this when
It's
this
night.
happened? Nighttime? Okay. All right. Well, then we'll put on like some tea or something, to drink and kind of just hang out. Pretend like we're just hanging out.
Okay. The tea kind of comes to a boil. Starts it starts steeping, kind of getting to the point where you can actually start drinking it. And right about that point, you hear a knock on the door.
just one moment.
The knock becomes louder.
I walk over, open the door. I'm sorry, we're just making some tea. Oh,
Before
hello.
you, there are two guards. They look like they're in half-plate armor. And from what you can tell, they are kind of garbed in pretty thick robes. One's wearing a helmet. The helmet is kind of got a brim to it, but it kind of covers up pretty much the entirety of his face and leaves his eyes in kind of dark sockets. The other gentleman, you see his face just plainly, and he looks like an older gentleman with a very meticulously trimmed goatee. The guard in the armor has a yellowish cloak, and the guard without a helmet has a reddish cloak. And he looks to you and he says, "Excuse me, we are currently seeking a fugitive of the law. Have you seen anyone pass through here? Is anyone approached you, and you can see that he
No.
starts kind of scanning the floor and kind of scanning the people in the house, him specifically. The other guard's face is kind of just like a mask of non-movement, just a helmet there.
No, we haven't seen anyone. It's just me and my friend and our grandmothers. This person isn't dangerous, are they?
Very dangerous. Do you mind if I come in?
No, that's perfectly fine. Please do.
He steps in from the rain and kind of settles like a couple feet away from the door. The one with the helmet like steps right in front of the door and pulls the door closed behind him, and is basically standing there, just at the door. The other guy kind of brushes his cloak back, and kind of like pulls it kind of up over his shoulder so it's not dragging on the floor. And slowly starts pulling off his gloves as he's still kind of inspecting the ground. Hawk, make a perception check.
Okay.
Could I offer any of you two gentlemen tea? We were just making some.
Not as good.
So even with that check, you're able to notice that there's still a little bit of blood kind of trailing on the ground to where old Granny Iden is sleeping.
God damn it.
It's very noticeable to someone who's kind of aware that might be the case, but it definitely does look like this guy's kind of caught the scent. He kind of looks over to the old lady Iden, and then you kind of notice that he's kind of looking at her for a little bit longer than would be comfortable in a polite society, but then he turns his attention to the other grandma and looks to you. Oh, it's not too late for you to sleep, I suppose, madam?
Mm?
Oh, with your counterpart there.
She's not feeling well, so she decided to turn in early.
Oh, well, what is she got a case of? Do you know?
Oh, nothing terrible, just mild fever.
You misunderstand.
Mild fever, eh? Fair. Well, he kind of looks around, just kind of casually. And you are the licensed owners of this house?
Yes, I am.
The guy at the door just muffles inside of his helmet. Papers. Ah, my associate would like to ensure that you have the correct documentation and papers proving that you are the owners of this establishment. Of this
Of
house.
course, let me get them. I go into my room and I'm sure I have the papers somewhere.
This residence. That would have been the word I wanted. Okay, great. And
so I go get the papers, bring them back. Here they are.
As you go to the back room, something happens. So Hawk and Mel, you kind of see the Red Road one, the one without the helmet, kind of reach into his sash at his belt or at his hip, and kind of pull out what looks to be a monocle, and kind of rest it over his eye as he's looking over at Grandma Iden. And when he does so, you can see his face kind of go, and he kind of puts the monocle back in his sash, and he looks over to you, the other grandma, with kind of like a knowing look, and then he kind of looks back to Mel.
Hawk readies his sword, but I imagine it's not going to look like a sword. Maybe it looked like knitting or something like that.
A knitting needle.
Right,
If the handle's like a knitting needle. I'm down for that.
Cane.
A cane. That sounds good. Yeah. So that's fine. And he, as you come back with the papers, he kind of reaches out to inspect them. Any moves being taken by people other than Zell?
I'm going to see what happens if I stand up very carefully.
Hawk's going to stand up using his sword as his cane.
Am I conscious?
You can be. Yeah. Again, your consciousness is totally voluntary.
Yeah, you were healed too, so you might be. And I'm going to say I need to put Mother to sleep.
How close is this guard to me?
10 feet.
So Hawk is going to look towards Iden, give him a knowing look, so that so that Iden gets a sense that something's wrong.
So the red cloaked guard.
Oh,
the,
I didn't know
the
something's
helmet.
wrong. I didn't figure this was going to shit the moment that the guards knocked on the door.
But just to answer
I'm
questions,
just trying to figure out.
position-wise, the guard is kind of like in the center of the room. The one with the red cloak, the one that's been kind of inquisitive, it's kind of towards the center of the room because it's only probably about 30 feet long, really, because it's like just the majority of the house. It's this common room where you would eat, sit, store your stuff. You're probably sitting, maybe 5 feet away from him, Hawk, from where he stands, and then Aiden is probably about 10 feet away. The guy at the door is about 15 feet away from Aiden and about 10 feet away from Hawk. And then when Mel would probably be right next to Zell when Zell comes up with the papers. So they're both kind of standing in this dude's face.
But there's still a guard. Is he in the door or
He is
at
in the
the
door, standing at it. So like he when he walked in, he closed the door behind him. So like the door is closed directly behind him.
Okay. With all of the speed that I have, can I get between the guard and the door in a very quick action, even if it takes like a double dash?
Okay.
To stand up.
Basically, with a 30-foot speed, you can kind of get the 15 feet to him. That's not a problem, even from prone. But what I need from you specifically is a fortitude save, or a constitution saving throw. Sorry, I was playing Star Wars the other day. Constitution saving throw. Okay. When you pop up and kind of sprint, you can still kind of feel this weird jostling in your back. You're pretty sure that vertebrae have been kind of knocked loose, but you're able to keep your composure. There's just a sharp tinge of pain as you kind of lunge out towards the dude with the helmet. And almost reflexively, his sword is already out and up, basically ready for you incoming. What are you doing once you get to him?
Wait, the guy in the middle of the room or the
No,
other
the guy at the
guard?
door.
You said you're going for the guy at the door, right?
Yeah.
He's ready for you.
Can I make a grapple check?
You can attempt to. Yeah, so go ahead and make an athletics check, and then I will respond with an athletics or acrobatics check.
I shouldn't have done this.
Should've
That was
dodge
dumb.
I've made a horrible mistake.
You'll check in with the rest of us to what we're doing at this time.
So basically, it's going to go on an initiative count as to highest dexterity to those who are readied. Mel didn't really say that he was ready to do anything, and neither did Zell, other than bring out the papers. But you had your sword ready, so I assume you're ready to scrap.
I had stood.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I was going to charge.
The second he is done with his attempt at grappling, feel free to take an action.
I have a question.
Shoot.
Have they been in this room for more than 1 minute?
To your knowledge, yeah, I'd say so. Sure.
I want to know
Okay.
wisdom score and charisma score for both of them.
Do me a favor and make a deception check.
Oh, to make it look like I thought I was covered by a.
The reason why
Nice skill.
The reason why I'm saying make a deception check is because you were trying to hide the fact that you were watching them and look like you were unconscious. So
Okay.
I'm just having the deception kind of be just like the hard line, since we're kind of we're pulling a Sands of Time right now. I just, as a fairness, I'm trying to
I have plus 11.
They completely know, damn it.
So you're good.
That is sick.
I get it. I just in my head canon it was the
Got it.
spell didn't cover me.
I planned it this way. I just didn't tell you about it. I can do that. I'm the dungeon master. You got to tell me.
Sorry.
So you want to know which two?
Wisdom and charisma.
Both are inferior to you.
Word, dude. All you spellcasters out there, go for their wisdom. It's shit.
Yeah, it's really bad. Okay, so you come in with the grapple attempt. Go ahead and make your athletics check.
That makes me really happy, actually.
Yeah,
Yay!
dude.
Zelvar
Isn't
gets
that
to
a
do
dope
stuff.
ability?
That is pretty awesome.
That is really nice. I do like that.
Holy shit, with a -1.
Yeah. No, you
You
so you kind of lunge up granny mode, just dart straight to him. And as you actually approach him and get into like adjacency, and like he whips out his sword, and you kind of reach in and kind of lunge around his arms and kind of try and pull him into like a close, tight grapple, and you have him grappled.
I'm guessing that's going to be a no on the T then.
Hawk, in response to activity, feel free to take an action.
Yeah, Hawk is going to charge at the person with the monocle.
Okay, well, you don't have to charge next. You're just standing next to him, really.
Okay, so I would assume I have my sword and my shield and all that kind of stuff, right? So I guess I don't want to necessarily strike him with the sword, but I just want to bang him.
Okay.
So
make an
what am I
attack.
doing?
So if you're attacking with a weapon and you're not trying to use it for its genuine purpose of murder, you're not proficient with it as a non-murder implement. So
all right, you know what? Then I'm going to try to. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to murder him then.
okay, if you make an attack with it, like
Murder hobo.
to knock unconscious or whatever, typically I say you're not proficient with the weapon in that fashion. If
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
literally
that's
a
fine.
death tool like a sword,
What if you
I'm
have
sorry.
improvised weapons feat?
then
I'm
you
gonna-
could definitely
yeah.
use a sword for all sorts of fun things, like pulling the pommel off and throwing it right at his head, ending him rightly.
No, we're gonna go murder.
That'll hit, certainly. And you kind of cut into him, and he looks supremely annoyed, and yeah, not happy with you. All right.
Sorry, man.
Do.
And I'm gonna attack him again.
Go for it.
So I get a second attack.
Sure do.
Fight us.
Fighters.
That will hit, but the second it kind of comes to impact him, he raises his hand like over his wound, and you see this bright red energy kind of flare out and connect with your sword and kind of push it away. It does.
So
not
does he
hit.
take? He doesn't take the damage.
He looks like he cast a spell to mitigate it.
He's a caster.
Almost like a shield was put up.
Almost like a shield.
Magically.
Someone knows
No,
how to
no,
spell
no.
sword.
That was obviously magic missile.
No, yeah, maybe. I mean, at the darkness. Okay, so moving on, we actually come to an actual initiative counts. So I'm gonna need those, please.
Don't we need the tokens?
You sure do.
We don't need no stinking tokens.
Tokens are for wimps.
Oh my god, it's got the old tokens. Oh, how prepared am I?
Not as unprepared as I am.
Also, just to say, I'm going to have to sidestep for a second to do a little bit of work. Keep going, though. I'm listening. I just
Fine.
might not respond as quickly.
That's fine. Oh my god, I can't believe
It's
I did this.
completely unacceptable.
Hold on a second. Do.
You said we weren't fighting tonight. We're totally fighting.
You could have avoided this.
Really? We
Yeah.
tried. We tried.
Well, I guess
Where would have been the fun in that?
That's
in
really
hindsight,
really
maybe we should have
big.
gotten rid of
That is
I
awesome.
did
Hawk is so
say
handsome.
hide
He is so
me,
handsome.
not disguise me.
Hey,
it would be awesome. It would be
either
awesome
one worked.
if Aiden turned so he looked exactly like Hawk, and there'd be two awesome people in the room.
Yeah.
By the
Iden's
way,
the one doing the
Mel,
heavy
what
lifting.
about me?
Zach, I have something I need to show you later. That's
Three
super
awesome
freaking awesome.
people.
And yeah, just remind me I have a
Word.
thing I need to show you.
Okay.
It's not my penis.
I'm not so good at remembering things, because
Oh, right, because of the yeah,
the
right,
trees,
right.
the
Trees.
flowers.
The buds.
So
Dude, you really got to get those allergies checked out.
Yeah.
yeah, dude, it's rough. Even in like January, fucking flowers.
I know, seriously,
it's
man. You
pretty
got
bad.
it bad.
You don't even know
The
that.
tokens are not clickable.
I know.
Okay.
You
Sorry,
should work
don't want to
that.
rush you.
I'm sorry. I'm so unprepared. I'm the worst. I'm the worst.
Are you Russian?
What does that have to do with him being the worst? I thought a German joke would make more sense there.
You should be
Bratwurst?
clickable now, Andy.
I don't even see my token yet. Are you putting it on there?
Yours should be clickable, Zach.
I can control Hawk.
I can't even see mine.
What the heck?
That could be me, though.
Yeah, yours
Never
isn't on there yet.
know. Oh, okay. That's cool.
I can roll Hawk's initiative.
No,
with
I'm
my
here. Sorry, I was
modifier.
just my.
That's so
No, I
weird.
just mean he gave me control of your token.
I think Zach has
Yeah.
now taken your form, so actually he's you now.
Yeah.
What is going on? Oh, you can control both. Everybody should have all players controllable. I'll change that.
Nah, I don't have control of me. I only have control of Hawk.
Oh, that's perfect.
Stop it.
Oh,
How about
now I've got me.
Who rolled that 13? That must have been Zach.
No, that was
right?
me. That
Oh
was me.
man, this is a
That was
mess.
your out, right?
This is a mess.
God damn it.
Oh man.
You know what's a real mess? A mess is our family room that now has a battle going on. When Zell and I never had this problem. We never had battles in our family room. We were peaceful.
Well, wait, there was
blood.
that one time you had that one follow of yours over, and things did get a little bit crazy.
He had a drinking problem, so he's in treatment now.
You
I know
guys
he had a
Wait a
drinking
minute.
problem. He always came into my bar.
You started a you started like a drug. Are you
We have,
Scientology?
AA meetings.
Like,
AA.
We have AA meetings at our church now.
It's
that
12
makes sense.
steps.
12 steps, yeah. Well, 12 what do fish do?
12
Swims.
12
Flaps.
flips. I don't know.
I don't know.
Laps, yeah.
12 laps. Yes, that sounds fair.
All
I said
right,
flaps.
sweet. So I'm going to click it.
Just to
and-
be
Oh
accurate.
boy, let's see here.
And Zell, you should be able to click on yours too. Okay, great.
Yeah.
That was a mess.
I am
Oh.
not able to click on mine right now.
Man, that is not good, is it?
Can you click on yours?
I can. I clicked on it. Yep. So I just have to click on initiative now. I haven't done that yet.
Okay.
Mine initiative is usually really low. So 9. All right. What am I gonna do here?
How about now, Matt?
Yeah, I'm able to click on it now.
Okay, great. Roll initiative. Great.
I'm gonna say I'm standing right next to my grandma.
I apologize, you guys. I apparently
Sonny.
thought I had everything ready to go, and it is not.
I put a picture of my granny fighter in Discord just so you can see.
Oh, awesome! I can't wait to see that.
Ooh, nice. I tied Hawk for initiative.
Ooh.
Oh
Wait
man.
a second. Andy, what's your dexterity?
Low. It is 14.
Mine is also 14.
So we can go by letters of the name. How about that?
Yes, X, the first letter of the alphabet.
Works for me.
There we go. The red cloaked guy and the yellow cloaked guy.
What a
Oh, that
bunch of
is ugly.
thieves.
Ooh, and they are good at
Jeez.
rolling initiative.
All right, perfect. So let's see. What do we got? So the guy who is currently entangled with Iden is going to attempt to free himself from this malarkey.
Yeah, it shouldn't be hard.
Go ahead and roll athletics check to contest.
Yeah. Again, -1. Someone else would.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He does not free himself from the
That was
grapple.
so stupid. Are you fucking for real right now? That's amazing.
I rolled a natural
No, I
one.
see that. I see that.
Yeah.
That's dope. You literally could have rolled any other number.
And typically
And
how I
then
go
fine.
is ones are auto fails. So even though you rolled a 3, you did not roll a 1.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah.
I'll take it, man.
He is still
I'll fucking take
grappled,
it.
but he's going to still kind of attempt to engage with you.
Doesn't that take his action, or does he
No,
get two
a part of your
actions on his
movement
turn?
is trying to escape a grapple. That's part of
I
your
thought that
movement.
was your action.
No.
Am I wrong?
If he was trying to take
Oh,
control of the
man.
grapple and grapple you so you can get out, that would be his action. But he's trying to escape it. He's trying to get away from you.
Yeah, I'm just high.
But he does not have a weapon drawn that he can use. The sword he has pulled out is probably close to about 4 feet, almost 4 feet long in the blade. And it's kind of just dangling off the side. So he can't really get a good swing on it. So he's just going to punch you.
Word.
I'm going to fix it so you can't see when I roll. Because I don't know why that's not also true. I like fudging. Not really. He misses. He tries to elbow you, and you kind of like.
It totally says in the player's handbook, escaping a grappled creature can use its action to escape.
It
To
doesn't
do
say it's
so,
part of a
it-
movement.
Nope, a grappled creature can use its
Well, then he
action
failed.
to escape.
And he doesn't try to hit you,
So
and you
that's
don't
the end
see
of his
the
turn.
attack I made on Twitch. Gosh, I'm the worst DM today. It's just
It's all good, man.
bad. I'm on
Yeah,
a-
you just made me second guess myself for a moment.
I'm trying to
and
impress.
It's all good.
Sven. Normally, you're not the one to rules lawyer on me. What's all of this, Zach?
Yeah, man. That's because you usually do it right.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go cry in a corner. Meanwhile,
No, that's a compliment, man. I never have to call you out.
no,
'Cause, like, you
for
get
right
your
now,
rules
it's an
right, like
insult.
90. Yeah, I know you fucked up this
Fucked up
moment.
big.
I'm letting you know that.
So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the Archmage.
Welcome back.
I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the mage, the guy, the weird one. The second he sees that stuff's kind of going weird, he kind of raises his hands up and makes just a kind of. I believe this is. Let's see. Are they verbal? No, there's just verbal components. So he says some words, and then he flashes in a burst of purple energy and disappears.
Ah, okay.
Son of a gun.
That's not good.
It's probably for the best. Probably for the best, actually.
How?
Unless he
Because
turned
we only have to
invisible.
fight one of them.
Unless he's invisible.
Yeah, but now the whole house is compromised.
Well, the house was already compromised.
Not
Yeah, thanks for
necessarily.
ruining our house, guys.
We're just gonna burn it down. It's all right.
Every
Don't worry.
single time.
Ugh.
Burn it.
Okay. So he vanishes. And then it would go to Zelbor.
All right, I am going to try to end this right now, and I am going to cast this next spell on the remaining guy.
All right. So that is a.
Did it pop up?
Yep, it popped up. What are you turning him into?
I am turning him into a bunny rabbit.
Oh, nice.
Yo, you turn him into a bunny rabbit, put him into a really tiny but very secure box, and then end your concentration on the spell,
Yeah.
so he expands inside of a really
Oh,
tiny
so
box
neat.
and just
So,
dies from the compression.
You're holding on to this guy and kind of like resting with him, and he's trying to get out of your grasp, and the sword's kind of dangling about. And the next thing you know, there's just like a puff of just weird light that kind of like flashes in front of you for a second. And the next thing you know is there's a rabbit sitting on the ground in front of you. It grows giant fangs and jumps at you. Oh. No.
Not that kind of rabbit. Not that kind of rabbit.
I polymorphed you wrong. No. Or that maybe
Yeah,
that's the
dude.
origin story to that
We
rabbit.
get a metal collar and we put it around the rabbit's neck, and then we end the concentration on the spell, so when his head expands, the metal collar stays the same size and his head pops off.
Wow, that's disturbing.
cruel.
Someone has thought a lot about murder with magic.
Yeah,
Murder with magic.
I like to be creative.
So yeah, he's a rabbit. It lasts.
It lasts 1 hour concentration unless someone damages it, in which case it automatically turns back. So no one hurt the rabbit.
And Hawk, are you hitting him?
The rabbit?
Yeah.
No.
Aiden,
I'll
are you
pick up
hitting
the
him?
sword.
I
And
haven't
Mel, are you
grappled.
hitting him?
I'm gonna hit him with love. I'm gonna go up and start petting him.
He
I'm
turns
gonna pick him
back
up.
to an evil knight.
I'm gonna
No.
pick him up.
Okay,
and start
great.
petting him.
So,
I got him in my hands at least.
well played. You defeated the knight.
You defeated him with love. This is what Nerd
What?
Mode is all about.
Oh man.
This
Okay.
is how you bard.
Yeah, he is
And
he is a rabbit.
Actually, I think what we're gonna have to do, guys, is somebody's gonna have to hold this rabbit. I need to get all my stuff together because it looks
Well,
like
I
we're gonna have to
think-
get the hell out of here quick.
I think we
we
should
have
all
5
get
to
our
10
stuff together
minutes.
and leave the rabbit here in my desk.
Inside your desk? That's kind of
Yes.
cool, but okay. We can
Well,
do that.
it's better than leaving him out where he can wander about and possibly follow us.
That's true.
Are we not burning it down?
No, let's not burn
First
the
of all,
house.
have you seen this? It's a row house. We are not burning it down.
Yeah, we have neighbors in here. You know, we don't want to like devalue their property
Yes, Mrs. McKinney next
Devalue
door
or
is very
murder
much
them.
brought us
or
plenty
risk
of
their
cookies.
lives.
You spent all your money
Devalue
on this
item.
house.
Yeah. You know.
Aiden is clearly in pain, but you're not sure if it's from the conversation or the huge wound in his back.
All right. Well, he was healed.
But
You know.
No. Again,
Did not miss this goody two shoes.
yeah, you healed him. That's perfectly fine.
I'm killing him with love now.
So what's the plan? You're putting the rabbit in a drawer? Was that what was happening, or cupboard?
No, I've got one of those fold-out desk
Sure.
cabinets. I'm just going to open that up, shove him in there, and lock it.
Okay.
All right. Hopefully you did this where I couldn't see because that's pretty cruel. There, you could kill him, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
dude.
one thing to
They'll
kill
be
something.
fine.
They're gonna bring reinforcements. We have to stop
find
and
him.
get out of here. Let's go out the back window and find her. You know, get out of here.
We'll grab our stuff. I wasn't wearing any armor or anything, so it's gonna take me, a minute to get all that on, and then we'll go. Then we can go.
You guys
I
all
grab
hear a
my
loud
instrument.
poof noise that kind of sounds from
Crap, we gotta
outside.
get the hell
Fuck
out of
yeah.
here.
We're out the back window.
Yeah.
Crawling out the back windows.
I would say that Hawk, you're probably close enough to the window that you can kind of see out to the front a little bit. Make a perception check to see if you kind of catch it as it happens, or if you see what happens afterwards.
Okay.
Hey Zell, could you play Zackety? Hackety Zack or whatever.
I'll go ahead and
While
say you
we're
had
leaving?
advantage for it because you were kind of right near the window. You see that same kind of color of energy, but with like more of a swirl to it, and it manifests that guy again outside. But this time he has
The front of the house.
yeah, outside the front, probably about 30 feet away from the house. But this time he has 3 of the same guy instead of just the one.
Yep. So I say that there's more. They're here with more. Let's get out now.
Okay.
So we're on our way out the back window.
Okay.
Do you agreed?
I'm
Agreed.
changing
Agreed.
into standard human.
How long does the
An
the
hour.
spell that Okay, so I'm gonna stay a granny.
Aiden, also Granny.
Yes, we are running with 2 grannies.
Can you hold concentration on both of those spells?
One
Oh.
of them is not concentration.
Yeah. Seeming is
Seeming
not.
just lasts for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm gonna be a granny as long as I can.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll play that game.
So let me go ahead and change the title of this game to The Golden Girls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dibs on Betty White.
Damn right.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Okay, I'll be B.
Yeah,
Arthur.
you're a
Yeah.
tiefling Betty
To be
White
fair.
and a mermaid B. Arthur.
Hawk, you're definitely B. Arthur though. I mean, real talk.
Oh,
Real talk.
this is getting awesome. This
Oh,
is getting awesome.
ouch.
I love you.
Ouch.
Hey, at least you're not Rose, the dumb one.
I know.
Yeah.
Which one's the old one though?
True. That might also be Hawk. Yeah. It's a toughie. Anyways, moving along. You guys are
You're
jumping
like,
out the back window and
it's
heading
definitely
into
the
like the town proper, trying to escape the individuals.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. For brevity's sake, go ahead and everybody make a stealth check.
Oh, this should be fun.
Uh-oh.
Should be interesting.
Oh
here.
Jesus Christ! I rolled a fucking 4.
Where's my
6.
stealth? Let's click on that.
Fucking 6. God damn.
Nice job, Kev.
Nice.
That was worse than I thought it was gonna be. Oh my
Just need
god.
one from Zell.
Yeah, I'm getting there. My thing's acting weird, so it's taking a long time.
No worries.
Yeah, that's happened to me before.
Moderately stealthy.
Okay, so you guys kind of go out the back window and very quickly kind of open it and start heading out. Unfortunately, Zell and Mel kind of stop for a second and kind of reach over and start kind of grabbing some of the things that they think they'll need, which will basically be the things that you have on your person, on your character sheet. Kind of grabbing your pack and stuff, not really your house stuff. But in that process, you make a lot of noise. And Hawk, you can kind of see out the back or back into the main room out that front window, and it looks like two of the knights are kind of moving towards the left side of the house. One of the knights is moving to the right side of the house, and the mage is floating up to the sea or to the roof of the house.
Yep. So Hawk will definitely relay this and move towards the right when where there's only one.
Okay. And you kind of crush out that way, and is everybody moving with Hawk towards that direction, or are you guys?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yes.
Yes. I'm gonna follow
Okay.
him for sure.
Perfect. Go
I'm
ahead.
considering dimension dooring.
Say words, mofo. Talk at me.
I was saying, part of me is considering dimension dooring if we need to.
Tell me if that's something you're doing. Right now would be a good time to say that. They don't see
If
you.
you're thinking about this out loud, Hawk would nod yes.
Well, I can only take one other person with me.
You and
It's a logical choice.
Mel seem to be the loudest. Get the hell out of here.
Okay, I grab
well, actually,
me and
Maybe it should actually be
take
Aiden. It should
Aiden.
be Aiden, actually.
Aiden, he's hurt.
He's hurt. And
Nah, dude, I'm doing fine. You take fucking Mel.
Yeah.
I'll be
all
able
right,
to handle myself.
All right, we'll see you later. I grab Mel and just teleport. What's within 500 feet of me that I would know?
So you are kind of living right around here-ish on the map. So you could kind of get to, I would say you're actually closer to the coast. So you could probably teleport right to the coast on the other side, underneath the Raid's Purge. You could teleport out to like the fields, or you could teleport into the city proper.
We'll see you at the right spurge.
Raid's Purge. Boom! You teleport to a place with a waterfall kind of just blasting above you. If you look straight up, you can kind of see like the crotch of a statue that's kind of standing astride the waterfalls, like yeah.
Freudian dimensional door.
Yeah.
I feel like the whole world's pissing on me. Bamf. Well, yep. You made it.
Beautiful
right.
storytelling. I appreciate it.
Or Donald Trump. I mean, maybe.
Because
Yeah,
it's
maybe.
huge.
Maybe.
That shit,
It's
though.
a huge statue.
Huge. Anyways,
Tremendous.
to you two, Andy, it sounds like these guys are definitely in kind of plate armor and they're not really moving very fast. You're pretty sure if you and Aiden hoof it, you might be able to get away from the back of the building before they get to the back of the building, and possibly without them seeing. That, or you can try and make a stand here against the one while the other two come around behind you.
No, I don't think so. I think the dash is going to be the way to go.
Okay, both of you go ahead and do me another stealth check as you kind of try and get away from the back of the house before they come to pincer you.
I'm going to use lucky and try again.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same.
Go for it.
Fuck.
You have to choose the
Jesus.
second roll.
Christ.
I have to choose the second roll, yeah.
Boy.
Well, you could always burn another luck, right?
Says you get a reroll, right?
You get a reroll.
Yeah, so you reroll everything. You don't get the second roll.
You can choose if the D20s is used.
Oh, sweet.
Right. So you can go with the 10 that you rolled initially, Andy, or the 9 that you rolled secondary.
Or you can burn another luck point.
Right. Zach, you can go with the 18
we're
or
gonna
the
burn
16.
We're gonna burn another luck point.
Cool. 2 out of 3, and we haven't even really started.
All right.
I'm sticking with that.
Oh, no! I think they want me to stay. Aiden, you run. I'll stay. You stay.
Nah,
You just
man.
go. Just go.
I'm done running if you're done running. But
So
like, I
they
think we
don't-
can make.
I guess I'm done running.
Oh god
They
damn
don't
it!
see
I can't
Grandma
believe
Iden, but they definitely see Grandma Hawk, and they say, "Halt!" Or the guy says, "Halt! Come back here! They're trying to escape through the houses." Do you continue trying to retreat, or do you stop to engage?
Oh, we run.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh yeah, we just gone. Let's
he's
go.
in pretty heavy armor, so he looks like he's having a hard time kind of keeping up speed wise. And you guys kind of continue on and try to lose him, I presume.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give
If you
me
want to split up Biden, that's fine.
an explanation as to
No,
how you're
we-
trying to lose him. So you guys are kind of moving through these
Well,
houses.
can you tell me where we are?
Yeah, you guys are close to the coast of Lake Lorade, which is kind of here-ish. Are you moving? I'm assuming you're moving north because you went out of the back of the house. So you're kind of moving north.
Could you ping that again?
Oh, I'm hitting it with my arrow, actually. Do you not see my arrow?
I do see it. Yeah.
Okay, let me change the color because it's not bright.
Okay.
Let's go with red.
Tell
So
me if
you're
this
kind of
makes
moving
sense
this
to
way?
you. I'm gonna draw a little picture to kind of demonstrate how we're going through it. If this makes sense.
Well, those
But
I'm
houses,
like,
just gonna follow
those houses
Iden.
aren't accurate. It's just
no,
okay.
I know. But like,
We could
I'm
zigzag,
just showing you with fucking paintbrush that like we're going like up and around like every corner we can to try and lose this guy. Not like in a direction, but like just taking every alleyway to get like around every house. You know what I mean?
And I will also
I'm not trying to move in a direction. I'm trying to move between every house until I find a spot that we can sit down, take a moment, and like figure out where he is and if he's still on our
got it.
trail or not.
So mainly you're not trying to lose him by being stealthy. You're trying to lose him by being quick and nimble on your feet.
Right.
And
I
trying
think that's a better option
got
for
it.
me and
Because
Hawk
I was going to
by
say
being more athletic and
the other
faster.
options that you have available to you, like these roofs aren't very high. So if you were trying to kind of get up to a higher place and kind of get away from him that way, that's an option. There's other options, is what I was trying to say. I wasn't trying to say, but again, perfect. Works perfectly into what I'm doing. So I need you both to make acrobatics checks.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. There we go.
Perfect.
Not
So you
bad.
guys start kind of darting through, and like every turn you kind of just start zigzagging through the buildings, not really leaving much of a trail for him to kind of follow on. And after a good solid minute, you find yourself kind of towards the north end of the town, up near the actual coast of the lake, and not too far off, you can see where Lorraine's Purge is hitting the lake. Behind you, you cannot see any kind of sign of the night. However, what you do see is floating about 40 feet in the sky above the buildings, but a ways off, near where you started, is a floating silhouette in the sky. And the only reason you can actually see it is because blaring from its hand is a bright white-ish light kind of descending down like a spotlight on the town, kind of moving over it.
Jeez.
Well, shit.
And you guys at the Purge would also be able to see this silhouette with a blaring, like, daylight just blaring down on the town proper.
Don't worry. I don't think they're looking for us.
Well, I don't think they're looking for us, but I do think they're looking for Iden. Do we want to move a little closer to him, Zelbor?
Well, can we see them from where we're at?
No, certainly not.
But we can move in the well, actually, we know what direction they'll most likely come from.
But we don't know where they're going. I shouted at them where we were going, so we might just have to wait.
Okay, that's a good resolution. So Andy and Zach, again for brevity's sake, one last thing from you. You do realize that kind of like moving out from the town to the coast and kind of moving out towards the Purge is kind of going to leave you out in the open. But if you do it in a very subtle way and kind of stealthily move across it, you may not draw the attention of the Skyborn mage that's kind of coasting around with the light. Of course, he's not shining the light directly in that area, but again, quick movements and stuff will definitely kind of catch your eye when you're up in the sky. So do me a solid and just make me one last stealth check between the two of you. Kind of move towards the Purge.
Between the two of us, so only one of us needs to make that check?
No, both of you need to make the check.
What time of day is it?
However, as a bonus action, Zach can help you.
Okay.
Because I think he forgot that he had that thing as well.
Totally did. Forgot it was a bonus action.
Hey, remember that thing you said about me sucking at rules? Go fuck yourself.
So my rolls are absolutely insane.
You don't
I
even
don't,
need
they're
him.
terrible or really good.
You even need
Yeah,
him help.
this is pretty funny.
Perfect.
Right?
You guys dart out
I've
onto
got
the coast, kind of move through
12
the
in
water,
this lead
and
roll.
very quickly kind of swim out to where you need to be. You see up ahead, you can see Aiden. I'm sorry, you can see Zell and Mel. You guys can't see the other two. They actually kind of pop up on you out of nowhere, and you guys are kind of underneath where the waterfall is kind of descending. Yeah, you can still see the town proper, and you can see that the mage is still kind of circling around the town with his light. You can also kind of hear the sounds of screams coming from the town, as you assume the knights are kind of searching for you. How long do you wait here?
Gene? Sorry, I missed that because I'm.
How long do you wait here?
We need to move now, I think.
Yeah, I was just waiting till they got here.
So options from where you're at, you can kind of move southbound and try and get to like the watchtower or like head into the hills. You can head north and pass over the White Flow stream there and kind of into the farmlands to the north, or you can kind of snake around the Raids lake into the North Run district on its more northern side. And then I guess anywhere outside of that if you want to make the trek, or you can climb up this mountain and into kind of the unknown.
Hawk, don't make decisions.
So when you say climb up the mountain to the unknown, can you mark that on the?
You're effectively right there. That
Right.
statue is what you're underneath. The statue kind of stands. Let me see if I can find the handout and show it to you. Hold on.
You see a man standing there, peeing directly into Mel's mouth.
Oh,
The man with the very tiny hands.
great!
A large stone man.
It's not really.
tremendous.
It's not really straddling it. But can you see the picture?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're
Yeah.
kind of
So-
in the waterfall area.
Hawk's inclination would be to go anywhere where it's wooded, where we can have some cover. So would that be in this area, or over here to the
There aren't.
north and to the
Yeah.
east?
It would be directly north. So there aren't very many woodlands near the city. The city has a several mile kind of kill zone cut out from it. You can kind of see where the forests are on the map.
Right.
It would kind of be like around the back of the mountain or directly north.
Right. So I mean, that would be what Hawk would want to do, was just to get as much cover as possible in the forest, which would.
Are there any hidden safe houses outside of the city that are within an hour or two travel time?
Go ahead and make me a history check.
Would Hawk know this from his time as guard as well?
Safe
Doesn't
houses
matter.
for something else.
Oh, you got it. Yeah.
Yes, as a matter of fact, the closest place you would know that is a loyal like bastion for members of the of your faction, you would want to get here to scout Tegan's camp.
How long of a journey is that? That looks like it'd be a ways.
How fast can you move 5,000 some feet, 7,000, 5,000 feet?
Okay.
It's a couple miles, maybe an hour.
Yeah, that's
two.
not as bad as I thought. I was thinking the scale of the city was a little bit bigger, but
Nah, it's
Let's go.
not terrible.
So we're going to the camp? Is that the idea?
I'll go with you. Sure.
Sure, let's go there.
So the question is, how do we go? Do we go north? Is it out of the way and then across, or do we go directly?
Well, right now that's not where we are. We're right.
Yo, dude, that's like a
Right
half an
here.
hour walking distance. Straight
Yeah.
up.
So that's
If
not,
you were able to walk straight, I would agree with you, but it's not the case.
Okay, maybe like an hour at
Yeah,
the most.
Like that
It's
way?
like a mile. I mean,
Yeah.
like
yeah, that's not bad. So
Right.
I say we go north for a ways and then go over. I don't want to go directly there because they may be expecting us? They know
I
where we
have
were.
absolutely no using roads or
All
traditional
right. Well,
means of
that's good. Then.
travel.
Yeah.
That's
That,
perfectly fine. Let's
So
go.
So like we'll go, I guess, north through the woods a little bit, and then at some point we can cut over to the west.
That's a river, isn't it?
yeah, it's the
Can
giant
we
stream.
oh, I can swim it.
ford
Though.
it?
You could get to it, and then we could determine it at that point. So
Let's
you guys
get
are
to it.
moving through the forest, or not the forest, but the farmland. Wow, my brain just did a huge fart.
General knowledge about this time of year, is it even worth trying? Because I know there are seasons that affect river flow.
So it
So, like-
is the onset of winter. So autumn just ended. Make
So
a
things are dry out.
nature check.
It's gonna be cold.
Yeah, I don't know shit.
Wouldn't I know that just being who I am?
You're,
Like-
It's weather full time.
I will allow you a nature check, and I'll give you advantage because you are trackless.
Yeah, and I was already talking earlier about
Yeah.
like swimming these things and stuff. Holy
Yeah,
shit!
sure.
man.
Yeah.
So before winter starts, you kind of have like a last melt at the end of summer, and then as autumn kind of builds up, like and it's a trickling point. So the river is kind of getting closer to its lowest stage, and it'll probably freeze over entirely during the winter time. Then spring it starts to kind of come down heavier. Summer it starts to lower down because of the heat, and like autumn kind of you have a bit of it kind of like trailing off.
So it could be iced over.
It's
And-
winter's just beginning, so yeah, possibly.
Well, we could try it, guys.
Yep,
I could go-
sounds like a plan.
I could
Yeah,
go
well-
first. You know.
Guys, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
I swear to God, I'll beat you to death.
Okay, as you guys are kind of moving through the farmlands, which pretty much it's kind of like a high-stemmed kind of almost corn-like crop, but they've all been kind of pulled, so you just have dying stems and about. They haven't really kind of tilled it over, so you're walking through kind of decrepit remnants of these crops, and it provides a decent amount of cover to you. But before you kind of leave the purge, you would notice that the mage kind of descends down into the town. There's a purple flash of light, similar to when he disappeared, and then it just kind of goes quiet back there. You guys make it through the farm. You kind of get to the river. The river is kind of still. It's not really rushing or anything. It's kind of just more babbling, but it is a pretty wide distance. But you do see that there is a boat kind of coming down the river from where you're at. It looks like a halfling-sized ship, and it's kind of just heading down the river.
All right, I think I will. If it's all right with you guys, I'm going to hail this guy and ask him if we can pay him to give us a lift. What do you think?
As you start kind of like making gestures and kind of hailing. Oh, you said you're doing that you were saying
Well,
that.
I'm asking the group that
Okay.
because I don't want to do it if they're going to say, "Hey, that's a bad idea," or call him over and then have him kill him. You know what I mean? So, what do you guys want to do?
I'm going to change into a halfling. I don't care what you do, but I'm still changing into a
I
halfling.
want to
You'll
kill
certainly be a
him.
little taller than a halfling, to be sure.
Oh yeah, that's right. I can't
I'm
actually.
a,
change into
I'm a, I'm a
halfling,
granny.
can I? Shit.
What do you think,
Yeah,
Granny?
you still look like a grandmother.
I can't.
So I'm a
change into
granny. Granny,
halfling. Oh,
trackless,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You're still granny trackless. I think Aiden was granny tiefling.
Tiefling.
Fuck yeah, that's right.
Um,
Let's look
Let's do
scary.
that.
you kind of call over the ship then, because it sounds like they're for it.
If they're for it, then I'm going to say,
Let's go for it.
Okay.
I'm going to say, "Hello, will you come over here and give us passage across the water?"
Zach, go ahead and make me another history check.
Do it, Zach.
Yeah, so you notice that this is a small riverkin or riverfolk ship, a merchant ship, and you see that there's a kind of like a flag on the keel of the ship that's kind of fluttering in the early winter wind, and you would see the symbol on it, and it looks like a drum with a hand over it, and you would or almost like a foot really Have you've seen Ninja
Mhm.
Turtles? You've seen the symbol of the
Yeah,
Foot
yeah,
Clan.
yeah.
It kind of
Yeah.
looks like that, so
Yeah.
it's like almost hand-like though. But you would recognize that symbol as the symbol of the Clackern clan of River Folk.
Oh shit! For real?
And for real, yeah, it's the Clackerns. So
Sweet.
Mel's calling
Let's
over the
see it.
ship. It starts to kind of coast over, and a little pudgy halfling kind of pops out. His hair is kind of all done up in dreads, but they're kind of like tucked together in like almost dread breads, but they're really thick and just like natty looking. He's wearing a pretty heavy cloak, but over the cloak he's wearing a poncho of what looks like some kind of like sea creature's kind of pelt, um, possibly a ray or like a shark or something. And he's wearing really just weird looking baggy pants that kind of make it look like he's wearing a dress almost. If you're familiar with Jinkos, that's kind of what we're talking about here, but cloth. And he looks over at you and goes, hey, oh, what's a fish man doing out of the water? And he points to the water as he kind of like throws a rope at you.
I laugh. Very funny. I hear that one all the time.
He's aquaphobic. It's really hysterical.
It's allergies. So I grabbed the rope and then I said, good sir, my name is Mel. This is Zell, Bob.
And as you're saying that, he's hopping off the boat as you kind of pull him against the shore. He's hopping out of the boat and kind of sitting down on the coast, the sand. And
this is Grandma Baba.
He's got a bundle, and he sets the bundle down and pops it open. And inside the bundle, you can see all sorts of just random trinkets. He goes, "Oh, wait, why are you introducing yourself? I don't care. You wanted to buy something, yeah?"
I'd like to buy passage across the river. I don't have
Oh.
a boat with me right now, and my friends and I would like to get over there.
Oh.
I have my grandmother here and my friend's grandmother.
On the bright side, you can try to sell us something while you're taking us over.
Well,
yeah,
how
I'll
about,
pay you.
How about you buy something first, and then I'll think about that other thing. So look what I've got, and he kind of gestures towards his bundle.
Does he have a small steel mirror?
He does have a small steel mirror.
I'll buy it from him.
All right.
Wait, what else does he have?
Yeah, what else?
I'm
What else does
intrigued.
he have?
He says that'll be 2 gold for the mirror, and then you kind of look at all the baubles that he has. Looks like he has what looks to be kind of like a bronze lantern. It looks like there's a bundle of incense that's kind of wrapped with a yellow and black cord. And when I say incense, I mean like the sticks. It's like a bundle of those incense sticks, kind of wrapped with that cord. You would see a feather. With a small little kind of coin kind of holding the feather quill. And it looks like he's got a strange looking bag.
What do you think, gentlemen? Anybody want anything?
Not necessarily.
Sorry,
So how is the bag strange?
It's the style. The style is mainly strange, in that it kind of has like a very strange kind of knit pattern to it. Out of character, the best kind of equivalent I can give you is if you've ever seen like leather work done by Native Americans. It kind of has that kind of look to it, but the patterns don't really have like iconography like Native American stuff would.
Right.
It's more just geometric shapes.
So what's the deal with the pouch? What is there anything special with it?
So it's here for 250. It's real nice. Holds a lot of stuff.
Moly, does it have?
How much does it hold?
I don't know. I've never tested it. He scratches his head. Probably a lot. It's a pretty big bag.
I don't know. I have no way of detecting if it's magic or anything. So, well, I'm very happy with this.
Wait. Can I Arcana check the bag?
To kind of tell if it's magical or not? Yeah, sure. Make an Arcana check. Actually, a heads up too. We have the skill tricks going, and I still have yet to kind of outline those, and I don't want to mention them on Twitch stream yet because it's yeah. But that will be.
So we shouldn't use them.
For now, no.
Okay, I was actually just thinking about those. Okay.
Probably won't come up, but yeah, kind of detecting if something is magical with Arcana will be one of those skill tricks. Yeah, you're pretty sure that's magical. Again, you don't know exactly what it is. That's not how that works. You just know that it
Right.
is magical.
All right. And he said 250.
Correct.
How much gold do I actually have? Because when we left it off before, I had like 150 gold total.
Pause break. Kevin, Andy, tell them about what that one thing.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
so
And the house cost 1,500. So mark that off your stuff.
All right, take that off
what?
of that.
The house cost 1,500.
So you should have had 2,000 plus gems.
Was
Yeah.
Okay.
So 2,000 minus 1,500 is 500. So you have 500 in coins and presumably a decent amount of gems.
Right. So, and I guess the idea is that we split the cost of the house 4 ways, or no?
So they would have taken that amount, the coin, just for the house. Again, Mel
Right.
actually had first dibs on everything. So to kind of just sate that, he took the trident and he took 1,500 coin.
No, actually, I took a trident and the decanter of endless water,
And
then I took.
1,500 coin.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You
for
bought
for
the house.
Right, for the
Effectively,
house.
that 1,500 wasn't just you; it was also
Right.
Zell. That money was for the house, just to
So
kind of
we,
make it
like,
easier instead of kind of going back on my horrible DMing.
So each
fine,
get
that's fine.
125 gold plus the gems.
Don't add them into the remainder of the cut. It's just you and Aiden. The gems
Yeah.
and the other stuff is just you and Aiden. So
Oh, okay. So we each get 250 gold then,
right,
plus the gems.
right. And then
Oh
what
shit,
other?
for
Were there
real?
any other magic items
For
or
reals. Yeah, there were goggles of night which
you have?
Hawk took. Yeah.
And that's it,
Aw, man.
right?
God damn it.
No, there's a bag of holding.
There was a bag
Oh,
of
the
holding.
bag of holding. So do we really need another bag of holding?
Well, yeah, you can never have too many of those, but
Do you want a bag of holding, Zach?
No, I really want those goggles of
Really?
night, like desperately. Oh my god, I'll give you whatever you want for those. Fucking not having dark vision as a rogue is brutal.
Okay, fine. You can have the goggles of night. That's fine. I'll give them to
Fuck
you.
yeah. That's super dope,
I'll
and I
take the
appreciate that
bag of
so
holding.
much.
yeah, but I think if Zell wants to buy another, we don't even know if this is a bag of holding. It's some sort of magic bag, but it could be like a bag of many things, or whatever. But it wouldn't hurt.
What else did he have? We've
He
been
doesn't
talking
have
So
the
about the
money,
bag
he
though.
has
so
what looks
long,
like
I
kind
just
of
got
like a
so high.
bronze lantern, kind of just a simple bronze lantern. He has like a pack of incense, feather with
Feather
a
with a
token
coin?
kind of attached to the quill, and then the bag.
Now, I don't understand the feather. I've never seen something like that before.
Just something nice and shiny.
Mm-hmm.
How
And
much for the feather?
uh, kind of does a side to side look. 200.
Does it allow flight or anything like that?
I don't know what it does. It's real gold on the token, and I think the feather's real nice too. Probably it's a pretty big feather. It's probably some kind of rare bird. And he kind of does like a look to look.
I'm
Hey, can
gonna
we talk about this
smile
on
at him.
the boat trip over a little bit more, so we could actually get moving?
He kind of was looking at you. Nope.
Damn it!
And these incense seem nice. I'm still
Um.
like smiling at him.
Yeah. 10 gold pieces.
Can I address him in halfling?
Yeah. You can if you speak. Yeah, you do speak it.
Yep. I never caught your name.
Oh, it's Otto Clackard.
Otto Clackern.
You've never heard of him.
Hmm.
But the Clackern family is probably somewhere around like 400 people.
You know, I used to know a man with the surname Clackern.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
From around here.
The city over. Oh shit, what's the
Oh,
name of it? Help me out. Is it what is it?
Is Hilltop? Or
Hilton.
Hilltop? Hilton?
Hilton?
Oh,
Hilltop?
Are you talking about that town on the piss?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, oh. Talking
Terrible
about
place. That's why I
Riverwild.
brought Grandma over here.
Hmm?
Are you talking about Riverwild?
I am in fact. You
Huh.
know him.
Huh. I haven't seen him in a long time. Uh, rumor was that he changed his name all weird.
He recently passed.
Oh my. Really sad. But he kind of looks over at his things. Can we keep this on the task at hand?
Sure. You said 10 gold pieces for the incense?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take 5.
Oh, just the whole bundle. He kind of folds it out to
Oh.
you.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I misunderstood, but yeah, I'll
It's
give you
okay.
10
He
gold
takes the
pieces.
coin. As you kind of are holding it, you can feel that the cord is not really tightly bound on it, and the incense sticks are kind of moving around inside of the binding.
Mm.
Um,
Is any of this like warming him up to me at all?
he's smiling at you, and he's smiling at Mel. But when he kind of looks at
Excellent.
Hawk, it's more of a kind of a not like a to the tiefling.
Now, Otto, where are you on your way to?
Just down the Giant's Drink. I think I might head down to
Where's Seaguard? Help me out.
It's way south. It's actually outside of the earldom
Oh,
that you're
okay.
sitting in.
It's on the coast, right?
Oh,
Yeah, it's like right on the coast of the Bay of Dragons.
We just want to cross to the other side, right?
Yep.
That's fine. He kind of
He
looks.
wants some people.
He says,
He wants
"But
some people to buy some
are
stuff.
you gonna buy anything?"
Yeah, take us to the other side and we'll absolutely buy something. And then we sort of shake around the coin.
He kind of
Shake the
look.
coin.
Hawk. I'm just nudging Hawk. Just buy the bloody bag.
He kind of looks over at Iden and Mel and kind of gestures with his head like this subtly, while Hawk and them are kind of squabbling amongst each other.
Just to say,
He kind of gestures
Zell
for
is
you
the
guys to get
tiefling.
on the boat.
Oh,
So we just get on the boat.
Not you.
no, not you guys.
Wait a second. Iden and I are the ones that look like the tiefling.
Yeah. Yeah.
You look like grandparents. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
they look like grand.
right.
So I look over to my grandmother, and I say,
And you head on
"Mom,
board.
please buy something." And do you need money? Is that your problem?
No, so okay, so fine. Hawk will
buy-
buy the bag.
Okay.
I'm fucking going.
And he
on
kind of
ship,
holds the bag out
man.
to you and hands it to you. Takes the 250 gold from you, and you have a bag.
You just got another
Great-
magical
great
bag.
Bag and no.
As you
and
kind of take
no
the bag
gold.
into your hand, you kind of realize it's not like just like a sack like it looked like while I was sitting there. It actually has kind of straps for you to kind of put onto your shoulder,
Okay.
like a backpack.
Sure.
Sweet. Now all you need is a map.
So I have a backpack now.
Yep.
Okay.
Backpack.
All right.
Backpack.
And then he's looking at the tiefling, but he kind of goes,
Hey.
What about you? Do you need money?
"You
How
want
far
anything?"
across is it to the other side of the river?
About 100 or so feet.
I smile and I dimension door to the other side of the river.
You waste a 4th level spell
Oh,
slot instead of
man.
money. He kind of shrugs. Well, okay, everybody on board, let's go. And he kind of just grabs up his sack really quick, throws it onto the boat, like just whoosh, unceremoniously, hops into the boat and grabs this big stick at the back end of the boat.
All
And
right.
that, guys, is how you waste a 5th level spell and 3 4th level spells.
Nice.
He
Long
Well done.
rest.
Do
once
you
I'm
realize, Zell, I bought something for 2 gold pieces, and I'm riding in the boat, and I don't even need to?
You do realize I spent nothing.
once on board the ship, it takes a couple of minutes for him to kind of get it carted over to the other side. It's not a very instantaneous process because he's kind of slowly drifting downstream, and he's actually going to get you down closer to right about. You guys would have come up on him here, and he actually is getting you guys to right about here, like right near
I'm
the
just
forest.
walking on the side.
On the way over, though, does anybody kind of like you're on the ship for a couple of minutes? Do you guys futz around with your items, or do you guys just kind of throw them in your bag or whatever? And
No, I'm definitely interested in this bag that I spent all this money on.
okay. So what do you do with it?
Open it up, reach
Sure.
my hand in.
Yeah. You reach your hand. It feels like the inside of a bag.
Is there an ending to it?
Do you look into the bag, or are you just putting your hand in it?
Well, first I'll put my hand in, and then I will
There
look.
definitely feels like there's a bottom to the bag, but when you look inside, it doesn't look like there's a bottom to the bag.
Okay, cool.
And it looks like the patches and the weird kind of designs are kind of subtly hiding small little pockets.
Ooh.
Cool. So I would want to look inside of those pockets if I could.
Similar circumstance. You feel inside and can feel a bottom, but you cannot see inside of the pocket.
Ooh, I know what that is.
Turn the bag inside out.
Don't do
Wait, get a bag of holding and put it inside of that bag. It's
Do you
a
turn the
He
bag
already
inside
has
out?
one. He already has a bag of holding.
And no, I have
Yeah,
I have a backpack of holding.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. You're like the
I'm kidding.
holder.
Don't put a bag of holding in there.
Okay. So what do you do besides that? That's it? You're good?
That's all I'm going to do for now.
I'm-
Actually, while we're going across, I do want to sort of think back to the fact that Hawk was on the city guard, and what does he know about the particular people who came to the house? Has he encountered them before?
No,
What does he know about them?
absolutely not. Do me a favor and roll history, though. Yeah, so the mage and the knights, all of them, bore a symbol that was kind of tethering their cloak together. And it was a symbol of serpents crafted out of gold or brass, like really shiny brass, kind of in C shapes, one kind of nested, cuddling in the other, like big spoon, small spoon, effectively. But yeah, you would know that that symbol is the symbol of the Conglomerate, which is a group of mages from the province of Jernaris that try to kind of mandate magical law over other people.
Ooh. Do you tell us that? Good thing Zell got out of the way. He's not.
Yep.
He doesn't follow that law. He's not registered either, I don't think.
He is not.
Nope, never registered.
And he does not always buy stuff from vendors, so he's not well aware, unfortunately.
Penny saved is a penny earned.
Hey, you know what I'm going to do while I'm on my trip over? Is I'm going to sit next to Grandma Iden, and explain to her how she can use those incense sticks she just bought to worship Nermode. Because
That's great.
that would be awesome. And I'll tell him, I'll promise to show him how.
Are you checking out the incense sticks, Aiden?
No.
Just put them in your bag and just fuck it. All right, and then
No, my plan was to talk to the halflings.
oh, okay. We'll deal with you in a second. Then let me ask Kevin before we move on. Kevin, do you inspect your mirror at all?
Actually, I will inspect the mirror. Sure.
Okay, so it is a crude steel mirror, and around the edges it's kind of rusted. And as you're kind of looking at it, you can see yourself, but it's still kind of, it's very weirdly like warped. Like there's like a subtle just gradient to the surface that's causing your look to look just slightly different. It's almost as if you're looking at yourself and there's kind of like another you behind you. Is the best way for me to describe that. And then like the rusted edge around the rims, as you kind of look it over, it feels like there's kind of an engraving underneath the rust on the bottom.
All right. Can I see what language it's in, or
Sure.
can I read it?
You start kind of like playing at the rust to kind of uncover the runes that are marked there, and you would see that they are Davic runes, which is the Dwarvish language.
Oh, I think doesn't my buddy read Dwarven?
I believe he does.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought Zell did. Zell doesn't Hawk read Dwarven?
I do.
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
You're not really my buddy, though. I might think you're my buddy, but you probably
Well,
don't think I'm your buddy.
He's not sure because remember he was someone named Bill.
That's true.
I'm gonna get that.
Recently save his life. I don't know if you're.
I want to get that out of the way real quick. Let me explain something to you. This is totally unrelated to the game at all, but I've been working on Hilton a lot, Zach, like a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
And I actually took and drew a picture of like a town guard. Okay. But I was saying to myself, if I just draw a town guard, as I was drawing it, this would be boring, right? Because it's just gonna be this one town guard, and they're all gonna look exactly the same. So what I did is they're wearing like a coif, like a chain coif, and I just left the
Yeah.
face blank, and then I drew a bunch of different faces, right? And just put the faces inside the coif with Photoshop. So like I have a whole bunch of different guards, but they all look different. Let me show you what I'm talking
That's
about.
dope.
Hold on,
That
hold
is
on.
That's
cool.
awesome.
Wait. So
Which one is Bill?
here we go. There we go. Okay, so like see how there's a token like out there right now?
Oh yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can actually manipulate it on this thing. Yeah, it looks like I can.
Is that the halfling?
So like, see how it's kind of like, no, this is just I'm describing something separate from the game real quick.
Okay.
But see how it's like a bearded guy, and now it's like, normal regular dude, right?
Yeah.
So there's like 8 total faces, but check this out. Okay. Okay, so do you recognize the
Oh
face?
shit! Yeah, I do. That's awesome.
And no, wait. Here's more fun. Oh, where is it? Damn it. Oh wait, no, this one doesn't have that. It's not on there. But yeah, there's that face, and then I have another token that's separate. It's actually under a token for you, but it's the guard with that same face, but half of its doppelganger face.
Oh,
For those of you following us on Twitch, this has been a funny, pointless aside.
Well, the pointless aside is great because he was once posing as a town guard when he was hanging out with Hawk as a town guard back in a town earlier in the game. If you want to see that, there are a couple videos on my YouTube channel that display that. But anyways, sorry for the pointless aside. Back to the point at hand. You wanted to talk to the halfling. Yeah, he's more than receptive to hear you. Are you talking to him in halfling?
yes.
Okay, what do you say?
So, where'd you just come from?
It's a city called Bruce.
Bruce. And where's that?
It's up the drink. It's before the split.
Right. Any news?
Oh, from Bruce? Yeah, there's orcs mustering in the Deborah. This seemed to say that there's this blue giant named Jormungandr who's leading them all, and another blue giant named Renka who's got a detachment of orcs up north of Bruce. They say that they're going to be attacking there soon. It's mainly why I'm heading to the Dwarf Road.
Smart man.
I agree.
Any news from the I don't
Are you
I don't
subtly trying to
actually
get him
know.
to tell you he's a part of the faction? Is that what's going on right now?
No. So how long have you been in the city?
Oh, I haven't. I just arrived. I just saw you coming up the way, and I figured I'd
So
stealth you.
you hadn't even planned on stopping.
Oh well, I can see the demise up ahead. I'll probably stop near there and probably make my way to the Shining Way in the morning.
Fair enough. Well, I do appreciate you stopping.
Oh, no problem. It's luck to stop for a merfolk.
Never heard that before.
Well, you probably haven't hung around too many riverfolk then.
I suppose I haven't picked up as many as you have.
Fair enough. He kind of comes to the other coast. Zelbor's standing there with his arm tapping his foot.
I'm not standing there with my arms crossed over my foot. I'm standing there with my lute out playing a tune.
Fine, but it's the same kind of thing.
Sure, that's fine.
It's angry lute playing. You guys are so slow. You get to the other side. There's the forest north of you, and it looks like you can kind of circumvent the forest to kind of head towards the area that you've actually been to Stormloft. You would know as Barbagezi Keep, which is the keep of the gnome principality. That would be
Word.
here.
Hey, could you read these runes in Davik for me, Zell? I hand him the mirror.
What is this?
This is a small steel mirror, but it has some ruins on it. I can't read them because they're in Dwarvish or Davic or.
I don't read either of those.
Oh, you don't read Dwarvish?
No.
Whatever.
That I think Aiden does though. If you want to ask him.
I think Hawk might too. Does Hawk
Hawk
do?
Hawk knows Dwarvish.
I will ask Hawk then. I can ask Aiden too, but he doesn't really pay me too much attention.
So you take the mirror and kind of look at it, Hawk.
Sure.
Okay. Do you read it aloud, or you just kind of read it to yourself?
I will read it. I'll read it aloud.
Good.
Something cool
Cursed
happens.
are all who look into this mirror. They will die a slow and painful death in the next 24 hours.
I can cast remove cursing, but I don't have it prepared right now. So sorry, dude. Hopefully that's not the case.
As long as it's not some sort of shackles that we don't have a key for, it's fine. Whatever.
Oh yeah. Or what if it turns you into a grandmother?
Too late.
It makes it permanent. If you do turn into my grandmother, you could breathe underwater, though. That's an advantage.
All those who see shall live.
That's what you say out loud.
Yep, that's what I say out loud. So I'm not sure what that means with this mirror. Zell, do you want to do, or Mel, an Arcana check on this?
Can you do that, Zell?
Sure. Once I pull up my character sheet.
Okay. You kind of start inspecting the mirror, kind of looking it over. Go ahead and make your Arcana check.
Zell has many things he's good at. Hawk. Just telling you.
I want to give you both as
you're not
magic
sure.
users a chance.
You're pretty sure it's not.
All right.
Nope. Not sensing anything.
Okay. Well, I will just put it in my pack then. I was just wondering what that was. It's good to know that there's a interesting saying on here. All those who see shall live. Cool. All right. Thank you, guys.
All right. You guys are heading towards the keep, or are you guys moving through the forest and around the keep? Kind of north circumventing, or kind of south circumventing, or straight through?
Hawk would want to go north circumventing to avoid attention.
Sure. As you kind of close towards the keep, you would see that the walls don't really circumnavigate the entire area of the keep proper. What you do see, though, are hundreds and hundreds of tents. If you remember what it looked like outside of Hilton with the refugees, multiply it by 10. It's completely packed with people in the keep's Bailey area, and it looks like a lot of people are just kind of wallowing in their own filth, and some look like they're kind of gathering where it seems food is being cooked and made.
So what is this? Refugees?
Yeah, so if you recall, back in Hilton, there were refugees who had came to Hilton who were ejected from Stormloft, and they were basically coming and looking for any type of work or any type of safety that they could find after they were displaced from Jether, which is a city to the south east of where you are. Let's see if I can't. Bear with me here. There we go. So you should be seeing the map proper. For those at home, you're looking at the Fairbairn Earldom, one of three. One of three. No, two earldoms inside of the duchy. Well, the duchies of the kingdom. That was rough. I'll try it again later with more detail here in a second, though. So Stormloft City, you can see here, and our noble adventurers traveled from the town of Hilton up through Coalbeard Mountains through an old passageway known as the Dwarf Road to Coalbeard Mountain, which, as you saw, was southernmost kind of fixture of Stormloft City proper. And they arrived in the city that way about a year ago. So Jether is located here. And according to what everybody learned, specifically Aiden, about 3 months, or a year and 3 months ago, a large frost giant named Jormungandr of Jether with a group of hill giants, ogres, orcs, and goblins, and sacked the city. And the refugees have been displaced from that city ever since. It looks like they've still kind of been stuck in this refugee and haven't really made much for themselves.
I take pity on them, but I don't know what we can do right now, guys.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything we can do but to
We
sort
can't
of.
do anything. We have to keep moving.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. You guys make your way around the keep then, and you guys head towards where you know the camp to be. It's kind of off the north road there that heads into the Deborah Wood. You would make it just near the camp, and upon your approach, you would see that there are currently 3 individuals in the camp, although it looks like a camp that probably holds anywhere between 10 and 20 militiamen. The 3 people who are in the camp at current. There's a halfling in full plate armor who's kind of sitting on a stump, his legs kind of dangling off the edge of it, and sitting in the dirt next to him, kind of like stabbed into the earth, is a large lance, probably a bit bigger than you'd think a halfling should be kind of holding on to. Then you would see a woman who is kind of sitting, her legs kind of crossed, like sitting kind of, in the normal, like sitting on the ground position. Is Indian style like racist something I can say?
I don't know.
Cross-legged
Just
would
go
be
for it.
the PC term.
I guess. That's fine. That you
How
know
about
what I'm talking about.
Cross-legged.
Sitting on the ground, cross-legged, and such an old.
Yeah,
And-
dude, I never heard the term Indian style until I was like 17.
What did they call it before then?
Cross-legged.
Okay, all right. So
Yeah, but
cross-legged.
yeah, kids nowadays that's what they call it. But like when I was young, that's all I knew. It was, but
Yeah.
now
Yeah,
when
dude.
my daughter was young, they called it crisscross applesauce.
Crisscross
What's up with that?
applesauce.
What's up with that? Like, or cross-legged? That was like when she was a
Well,
real
yeah,
little kid.
crisscross applesauce was like when you were 3 and they were
Oh,
trying to teach you
kindergarten.
to
Yeah.
Also,
understand
John,
what is happening with your body and the world
Oh,
around you and light and things.
Yeah.
What's up, Matt?
I can actually use an action to dismiss the seeming. So as we're approaching these guys, I would like to dismiss the seeming so that
Okay.
Aiden can be Aiden.
Well, I'm sure he's not Aiden even underneath. So
Well, you know what I mean. So he can at least control the way he looks.
got it. So reflexively, like you can kind of feel like the magic fading away from your form, like the physical changes to your form changing from the seeming Aiden. So you can kind of like naturally fall into whatever state you want to be in. What do you want to look like? Are you Bill again?
I'm sure there's a different guy that I've been posing as.
Sure.
Frank.
Let's call him
Bill
Frank.
2.
Frank.
Call him Frank.
Yeah.
Frank.
Okay. You kind of fall into Frank form.
I want him to be like a relatively large Italian man.
As you do
I feel
spill
like that's who Frank is.
into your regular clothes, though, like the rain has kind of descended and has stopped kind of falling since you guys have been kind of running around. But when you do fall into your regular
Yeah.
form, you are still kind of wet from the rain now that your physical form has changed into your old form from before then, and you definitely can kind of feel like the grime of the blood in your cloak and your shirt and the tear on the back of it from before.
Awesome.
Okay. It doesn't magically mend his clothes after he reshapes, does it, Matt?
It just is an illusion.
Yeah, it's an illusion.
All right. So you guys are heading towards the camp, and you see the second person that you saw sitting crisscross applesauce is a seemingly a taller woman just by the way her legs kind of look, but sitting in her lap is a large book. Her hair is kind of bob cut, and she's wearing just kind of traveling clothes, regal looking traveling clothes, and definitely militia looking traveling clothes, but traveling clothes nonetheless. And the third individual is another halfling girl who has a pair of axes. One's lodged in another stump, not the one that the other halfling's sitting on, and the other one she's using to chop wood.
Do I know any of them?
Scout Tegan would be your contact in this group, and that would be the halfling girl with the axes. You would know that she is a member of two factions. She's allied with the Aegean Commonwealth, and she is also allied with a group known as the Association of Conglomerate, which are basically do-gooders who go about the world with no real causes, like politically. I guess the closest equivalent I can give you, if you're familiar with Forgotten Realms, are you familiar with Forgotten Realms?
Yes.
The Harpers.
All right. Yeah, I got you. Then I suppose I will approach the camp and say, or hail scout.
Okay. As you approach, both of those axes very quickly come into her hands. She kind of crosses them over her chest and kind of walks over towards you. The girl with the book slams her book shut, like just abrasively, and the little halfling with his plate armor and his lance is kind of kicking his feet, and then finally gets off the stump, and in the motion has got his big old gauntleted hand kind of grabbing the hilt of the lance and kind of pulling it out of the earth. Um, the halfling kind of walks up to you in her leather armor, holding her axes across her chest, and she looks up at you and says, "Who are you?"
I'm gonna give her a smile and like just flash my eyes to their weird pure white changeling form and then like back to normal.
Oh, Commonwealther. She kind of smiles. How's it going for you with that in the city? I hear it's pretty bad in there.
My whole team's gone.
I just sent a couple of people on their ways up to a safe house in Corston. Is that what you're planning on doing? Is getting out of the city, or are you sticking around?
I'm not sure I'm ready to give up yet. And regardless, someone has to report back.
It's fair. Unfortunately, my pleas to the tall number have been met with on or have fallen upon deaf ears. Not too many in the sword are willing to fight a political group, which this fellhood squabble has been deemed as. Is it true that there is conglomerate activity in the city as well?
Absolutely. And it's been quite a significant presence.
We can't do terribly much until we can politically foist their grand magier.
It's very difficult to work in the shadows when they refuse to turn off the lights.
I agree. And she kind of looks over, like between your legs and like around your body at the others behind you. Who are they?
Old friends.
Commonwealthers?
No, not exactly.
Oh, just lucky people, huh? We got caught in the crossfire.
They
Oh, you have
they
no
dragged
idea how
me
lucky.
through some fires too.
Well, if you're not aiming on getting out of the city, I can keep you safe out here, but you're gonna have to do me some favors. And she walks right past you as she says that, and walks right over to the fishman.
Were we speaking in a different language?
No, she was talking in common.
Okay.
As
But
she walks up to Mel, do you do anything reaction-wise? Like she's just walking over to you. She has two hand axes crossed across her chest.
Yeah, I say, greetings. My name is Mel.
Just as you're talking, she reaches up with the hand axe, and she's got it pointed so the blade's towards her and the back end's towards you, and she taps on your holy symbol on your armor. Nermode, yeah? She smiles as she puts the axe
Yes.
back close to her chest. Cleric?
Yes.
Or she
No,
kind of looks you up and down?
I'm a paladin.
Yeah, I thought you were a holy knight. Hospitaller. Probably could do some good inside the refugee camp. She kind of walks away
Probably
from you
could.
with like no concern for what your reply is. She walks over to the
Yeah.
tiefling. She kind of looks looks him up and down.
I take out my lute and play a little tune.
She looks over at the woman who's sitting on her sitting on the ground, crisscross applesauce, and she looks over. She goes, Cassandra, and she goes, Is he what I think he is? And she looks over at you.
I would like to
Yeah.
use thaumaturgy to flash my eyes.
She kind of goes, yeah. And then as she says that, like her legs kind of just like spring out from underneath her, and she kind of hops up with like a little bit of a priss and kind of like stands there at her full like 6 foot height and starts kind of like sauntering over to Zelbor, the guy who always seems to get the attention from the attractive women.
I lean over to Mel and say, I like tall women.
I mean, she walks over to you and she kind of smiles. Huh. Not many of you travel around here. Are you from the Barrier Peaks?
I can't remember if I am or
Wait
not.
a minute. She smiles and she looks over at the halfling and she says in halfling, so Aiden, you understand what she's saying, and she goes, he's that guy from the bar up in the Northrond district, White Plumes. And the halfling goes, oh yeah, I remember him. And she says that in common.
And Zach just leaves out of annoyance.
Aiden's like, fuck this guy.
Nah, dude, I'm still there. I just had to refresh my page.
Cassandra, who's the only one who's really been introduced to you, other than Scout Teague, whose name was addressed by Aiden when they approached. Cassandra kind of looks you over. Bard, what college do you hail from? Where were you taught?
A little bit here, a little bit there. Mostly with laws.
Are you licensed?
Let's talk about something else, like your beautiful eyes.
She turns to the halfling and she says something in halfling. Aiden, you pick up. He's going to need documents. We need to get him documents if they're going to go into the refugee camp. Fine. She reluctantly says. And it seems that the halfling is talking in common more than the human woman is talking in common. The human woman keeps turning into halfling, like she's trying to hide something from you. Whereas the halfling girl is like, whatever. I don't care what he knows and what he doesn't know.
Yeah.
By about this time, the halfling with the big broad lance kind of walks over and approaches Hawk and kind of stands there and just starts looking up at him. It literally looks like a ball of armor, like with a big stick. And he goes, ah, and he kind of gestures at you. You're an old watchman, aren't you? Seen you around town. I'd never forget that face.
Hawk sort of strokes his beard a little bit. Tries not to be offended.
You're not sure you've ever seen this halfling before in your life.
Okay. So I haven't seen you.
Oh, I guess that's fair. You probably haven't. And he kind of smiles. That's okay. I've seen you. You're a city watchman, or weren't you?
I was.
Why aren't you anymore?
You're very curious, aren't you?
Tegan kind of walks over and she like pats the back end of her hand axe against this little halfling, or this big old block of metal, and she says, in comment, "Don't worry about it. Don't pester them too much. He'll serve. He's got a sword and a shield. He'll be fine." And after this kind of weird exchange, it kind of leaves with Cassandra still looking at Zelbor and this halfling.
And Zelbor winking.
This halfling knight still looking at Hawk. And Tegan walks over to Aiden and says, You'll do fine. I want your friends to go into the refugee camp after we prepare some things for him." And she gestures to the tiefling. And you'll need to go into the camp and make sure that these people are well taken care of. We've had very little hands to assist us in this matter, and we spent all day working at it today. It's a rough issue. There are some people in the camp who they'll do anything to to be on top to survive. And so certain measures, and she kind of gestures towards the halfling in the full armor, and he kind of looks up at Hawk and starts nodding his head, need to be taken to make sure that they know their place and that they don't try and make any trouble for innocent people. And just as he's finishing that sentence, you just hear this loud clap of steel on steel as the halfling slams his gauntlet on his chest. And he's like, "That's where the shield comes in." And he kind of smiles. And you can see that he doesn't have a shield. There's no shield on him. But there's a small pin on his on his armor that is in the shape of a shield.
Awesome. He just is the shield. I approve.
Roll a history check, Zach, because you might know a little bit about the Association of Talnumri.
Oh, also, John, at some point afterwards, I cannot edit spell journal or creature journal currently.
I don't want to deal with you right now.
Love you too, John. Love you too.
So no, you don't know much about the Association of Talnumri. Hawk, I will let you roll one too, though. You're from Parnak.
So history.
Yes, sir. I'll give you advantage.
Okay.
So he slammed his hand against some symbol on his chest, and right when he did that, it kind of clicked who you were kind of sitting with. They're members of the Association of Talnumri, which is very prevalent in Parnak. And basically, what that association is, it's a group of very differing types of individuals who all have the collective goal of protecting the innocent, destroying evil, and collecting the knowledge of all goodly folk in the world and preserving their histories. In that three-pronged kind of mission statement, they come in three different types. There are the swords, the shields, and the scepters, the staffs. So what you're kind of now realizing is you're sitting with three associates, one of each of those. This is a pure band of Talnumri. You have the sword being the girl with the two axes, the shield being the halfling with a lot of armor, and the staff being the strange mage girl.
Could you use the association of? I didn't get.
I'm
what
gonna
that
get you the
was.
handout.
Okay, cool.
Actually, you did send us this before because I
okay.
had a copy of it.
I think I might have.
You sent it to us when we first started this whole campaign a long time ago.
Possibly.
But it's pretty cool. This is baller, man.
These guys are pretty cool dudes.
Yeah. Oh, I think Malik is actually thinking this is pretty cool. Especially if you guys explain to him what these guys believe in. So.
I basically
Yes,
if
I
you
see
guys
it,
stay
okay.
with them during the camp, as it looks like the halfling girl is kind of messing around with some papers. They kind of tell you a bit about themselves, and they basically relay just general information because they're really proud of their history. But yeah, there you go. So the Talnumri
Nice.
are said to be formed in the tradition of the Great Alliance of Man, Elf, and Dwarf from the tales of the Third Age. The association is a group that has charged itself with the defense of those who cannot defend themselves, the destruction of those who would harm the innocent, and the safekeeping of the knowledge and wisdom of the histories. As a faction, the Talnumri's strongest presence is in Tessa and Varhuin provinces, which are not here, but it has a strong concentration in the eastern portion of Parnak, mainly Stormloft, Ragnall, and Rostagar kingdoms, and also Osiria's Citrine throne, which is another province's location. So they tell you a bit about their, dedicated history during the Third Age and the upcoming of the Great War. Good times.
Yeah, interesting. So what exactly does a shield do? You
Defends.
defend people.
That's
right?
it. He says, I sure do.
How do you defend? You basically defend those who can't defend themselves?
That's it. If some evil comes upon innocent folk, I'm there to stop it.
That's pretty cool. What does your sword folk do?
Oh, she, well. Tegan's kind of looking up from the papers as she's kind of finishing them up, and she starts going, breathing on the ink, and she looks at you. I kill things. she kind of smiles at you with just a weird, malicious kind of grin.
Evil things, right?
Oh, well, for sure.
Okay.
Mostly.
Mostly. Well, it sounds like they're trying to protect the common person. So, I really think what you guys are doing is very honorable, and appreciate the fact that you're helping those who can't help themselves.
And we're gonna appreciate you going into that camp and helping us help those people. If you guys are tired, it is kind of late. Feel free to throw out some bedrolls and get to sleep. There's definitely plenty of tents. Um, and Cassandra kind of looks up and kind of does one of these with her fingers. It's gonna rain again. Um, and Tegan kind of shrugs. Thanks, Cassandra. And then she kind of goes back to chopping wood after handing Zelbor a weird set of papers that she puts inside of a strange wooden box. On the wooden box, like kind of engraved on the top of it, like burnt into the wood, are the two snake symbols I had mentioned you saw on the brooch of the mage that you encountered back at the house.
Huh.
Looks like you got your papers.
It marks you
I
as a
try to avoid this.
Class A spellcaster, so don't blow anything up. I think that
Can
would be
we
outside
ask
of your
her
level.
I
about
make no promises.
that mage? Did you see the white light last night?
No. This is the same night. We're in the same night.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I didn't, and you guys literally walked for the better portion of an hour to get here, if not more than an hour to get here. So to put that in perspective, no, they couldn't see that far away.
well, they did mention that the conglomerate was active in the town.
That's what we hear.
In Stormloft. So we ran into some of that.
We haven't seen any of their activity, and we don't know where their Grand Magier is, but we've heard that there's Magier activity, and if your friend Aiden's on the level, and I'm pretty sure he's on the level, he says that he has seen him, so...
Yeah. Interesting. All right, so guys, I guess we're gonna rest here now then.
Yeah, we can let Zell get back all the spells he burned.
Sure.
How
let's
far
do
away
that.
is the refugee camp?
It's a couple hundred feet.
All right. Well, before I go to sleep, I'll go through and
About 700 feet.
I'll go through and heal anybody that needs healing before I go to sleep, because if I'm gonna, if we're gonna rest here, we might as well, use all my heals to do some good before
Nobody
I
got
go to
hit,
sleep.
did they?
No, I mean talking like people in the camp, they could have any sort of illness,
Oh yeah.
I can
Totally
cure
different.
diseases and crap
I'm
like that too.
definitely down with going into the camp.
Zach, as
before
you
we-
kind of like stand up or kind of like move around, like you realize that like during that long course, that walk here, there was kind of like a dull pain on your back. And as you kind of stand up and kind of like move around a bit, you can kind of feel that there's just something off. There's really something
Yeah.
wrong with your back, and you're not sure
You
what it
need-
is.
You need an expert to look at that.
It's probably AIDS.
I can cure diseases, so that counts.
I think it's. I guess.
Do you
So,
attempt to? I mean, like you don't know if he has one. I mean,
will you let me look at you and do another assessment?
Honestly, you would have to notice it while I'm actively trying to not let anyone.
he's not wanting
notice
you
it.
to know that he's got back problems. Okay.
Okay, if
Right.
I don't notice anything, then I guess I won't do anything. But if anybody in the group needs any help,
Super helpful though. Listen to this guy.
Before
He's like,
before I go out and help people.
we got chiropractic practice, bruh. Come on, let me help you
Yeah.
out.
Come on, I'm not even gonna charge you. It's free.
Even
It's pro bono.
Hearts. So
Yeah.
Aiden and Mel are on the. They want to go help out tonight. Is Zelbor and Hawk going to do so, or are they going to go ahead and get to sleep? Again, it's really late. It's like
If it's really late, yeah.
Sleep.
If I'll ask if there's anybody that is in dire need of help. Otherwise, if it's super late, it's probably most of these people are going to be asleep
Tegan
anyways. But...
looks at you and says they're always in dire need.
All right, take me to the worst ones, and I'll get working here before I go to sleep.
I'm going to sleep. I've been at it for all day.
You've been at it all day. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
you can
cool.
see just like her boots, like all the way up to like her knees, are covered in mud. And you could tell that Cassandra has been walking around barefoot out here in the grass since you've like come upon them. But her boots are sitting there covered in mud as well.
Okay, I think probably if these people are in as bad a shape as she thinks, I should be able to probably pretty quickly find enough people in bad enough shape to just blow all my spell slots and then go to sleep. That's what I'm thinking.
Sure.
If things are as bad as she says, you know.
Yeah, and they may very well be. So you kind of walk towards the keep, and Aiden, you're going with him.
Yeah.
Hawk, you're going to sleep, and
Yep.
Zelbor, can you even hear me?
He is
Yes, I can hear
back
you now.
on.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
So are you
He
going
said
with
he wanted me.
them to help, with Mel and Aiden to help the people, or are you going to sleep?
I suppose I'll help, if nothing else, by being wonderful and amazing and cheering up people.
Oh man! All right, this is awesome. We got a traveling
The
party going here.
Hawk kind of like, lazily kind of finds a tent and gets to it. But as he's kind of heading to bed, the little ball of armor just kind of starts walking towards you guys with his lance kind of like, shouldered over like one shoulder and kind of like pointing out way back behind him. And he kind of just starts moseying on alongside you. And he says, your shield friend looked really tired from all the running, I suppose. I guess I can kind of muster up a little strength to keep you guys safe.
Well,
It's
thank you.
appreciated.
No problem.
How are you doing? You look like you have a few scrapes and scratches and bruises on you. You got any wounds that need healing?
He reaches over with his hand and just slaps you on the hip. I'm fine. Let's go. And he points.
All right, sweet. I like this guy.
He's kind of walking around, but you, Zell, kind of notice like immediately that he's not wearing any shoes or boots or anything. His feet are just big and stupid looking and covered with just mud. Make a history check for
Hairy
me.
little-footed.
You make a history check for me.
Who, me?
Yeah, so you would know that there's a subset of halfling known as the Veilkin, who don't really travel much outside of their normal like habitations, and those that do are very strange ones indeed. But they also don't typically like dress normal, and like wear much of like normal clothing, even though it's cold. Like they have a lot of body hair. But it looks like he's wearing armor over pretty much nothing. Now that you look at him, it's just like the armor is so densely packed in plates, like you can't even tell that he's not wearing anything underneath.
I just look at him and say, Velkin?
Yeah, Veilkin indeed. Sorry, let me type that so you see the word.
Do you have any of the good songs from them?
Ah,
Honestly, I've been trying to find some, and they are so bloody hard to find people who know the good ones.
by Gemwich, I know them all. See, my uncle Gemwich
Oh, we're
taught
going
me.
to have fun.
My uncle Gemwich taught me a lot of songs. Make a religion check, Kevin, as he says what he just said.
Sweet. Sounds like we're gonna have a musical party coming up here.
So he says that his uncle Gemwich taught him songs. Gemwich is the name of the halfling god. But rolling that religion check, you also know a little bit about Gemwich. All halflings refer to Gemwich as some relative of theirs, and Gemwich is always in reference to something that is greater than them. So, like, if you tell a story, he's going to tell a story where Uncle Gemwich did the same thing but better. Always.
Okay.
And sometimes it's
Okay.
Auntie Gemwich, sometimes it's Uncle Gemwich, Grandpa Gemwich, Grandma Gemwich, whatever. Any family member. Brother Gemwich, my daughter Gemwich, sometimes for older halflings. But yeah, Gemwich is kind of like the ultimate of all ultimates, but it's like it's always told in a way of like my dad's better than yours kind of situation. And he kind of smirks and starts like humming in halfling, some strange song. You don't speak halfling, right,
No, I don't.
Matt?
Nope.
Make a intelligence check though.
Which one of us?
Just Matt.
Ooh.
Oh, very good.
You actually pick up the tune though, so you could probably play it out on your instrument if you wanted, to kind of follow along if you'd like.
Sure, I'll take out. I think I have a shawm.
And started just Going for it.
No, wait, I don't have a shawm, but I do have bagpipes.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, the song sounds like it might fit with a bagpipe. So yeah, go ahead and roll that, but have disadvantage. Because
Okay,
it really
performance?
doesn't. You know what?
That does not matter.
You make it work. You know, this little halfling is super surprised by it, and sings along with it, and you can just feel him kind of just like the song kind of rumbling in his belly as he's like singing it out, just belting it to the bagpipes, and it's like to everyone else listening, you're either like really impressed or like it's just a cacophony, and you're like, oh god, it's it's interesting. It's certainly that. It's not bad. It's just it's still bagpipes. But the halfling's super impressed, and after the song, he kind of smiles and he goes, "What? I don't think I caught your name. Mine's Sander. Sander Ironfoot." And he reaches up with his big old meaty gauntleted hand.
The name's Zelbor, but you can just call me Zell.
He smiles, and do you take his grasp?
I do indeed.
It's a surprisingly gentle handshake that he gives you. You thought it was just going to be a sturdy, meaty metal handshake, but it's like very dainty, very soft. And you guys continue on through the gates. You'd see that there are two makeshift watchtowers. The towers inside city proper are stone and like really well constructed. These look similar to the towers you saw back in Hilton, where they're literally just trees that have been kind of put together to build up to like a point with a ladder kind of descending down, kind of like a makeshift tree fort, if you will. There are guards posted in them. The guards that are posted in them, Andy, you would recognize as guards who have basically kind of been um, ostracized, people who were kind of like pushed away. Because initially one of the fates was kind of predetermined for you before you kind of just removed yourself from the equation was to stand watch over the Barbaghetti keep. Um, you have never really been up this way. You didn't know it was this bad. But as you can kind of see it, you see that there's north of the watchtowers there is a tavern. The tavern looks very new, very like recently built, like within the last year or so. And north of that, it looks like there's a series of barracks and houses, and there are militiamen that are kind of out training. These are not guards; these are militiamen. And then south of the keep is where everything kind of is just a mess. Um, the keep is kind of a Mott and Bailey keep, and then it has an external Bailey outside of it. The walls that are kind of surrounding it, the outer walls, are curtain walls, but they're only about 20 feet high. The walls of the keep proper are about 30 feet high. So as you kind of approach it, even in the dark, you can still see like over the wall to the interior keep. Um, yeah, just outside of the refugee camp, like the most external sources there, you can see that there are people who have bowls that are kind of like, like trying to take alms or food or whatever they can. And some of them kind of see you and are, desperate to kind of rush over to you, and they do so. And when Sanders sees them coming, he kind of smiles and he takes out his water skin and starts pouring the contents of it into the bowl. And you can see that his water skin is filled with soup. Um, and he just pours it out into their bowl and kind of smiles, but he very quickly runs out after like 1.5 bowls. I'm sorry, ladies. That's all I got. He kind of looks over at you guys. You got any rations on you?
Yeah, how can I refuse these poor people? So I will give the majority of my rations to these guys. I'll leave one day left for me, but I don't want to like
He kind of
hold back.
reaches over and grabs your pack as you're kind of trying to put that one back. He says, "We'll feed you. Don't worry about it."
Well, all right, I'll give it to him.
He smiles at you. Thanks.
And all right, cool.
He also
I don't know if I have any rations, but if I do, I give them out.
he kind of takes Zelbor and Matt like by the hand individually and kind of leads you over to people and he names them by name. But you recognize that these are people who kind of have issues or ailments. There's one lady that Matt you're taken to, who looks like her foot has kind of started to club.
Wait, Matt or Mel?
Matt Zelbor. He thinks you're a
Okay.
bard, so
Right.
he assumes that you have some sort of way of curing. But the lady he takes you over to, Zelbor over to, is she looks like she kind of has like a clubbed foot, and her feet are kind of like red with like bunions, and she looks like she's in a lot of pain. But she's not old. She's not like old. She's like she's like 40 or so. And it looks like she has a couple of children who kind of depend on her, but they look like they've been kind of watching over her. And he kind of looks over at you and he says, "We don't really have any kind of healers in our group, but this lady's been having issues for a while. How's it going, Tess?" And she says, "Oh, it's worse today. It's so worse. The onions that Cassandra gave me to try and alleviate the pain have not worked." He looks over at
Okay.
you.
Yeah, the only thing I have is healing word, so I would.
I might be able to heal that, especially if you consider it a disease. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is a disease
Probably
or.
not. It may be more of an ailment.
It's
Oh.
basically hit point damage. Like if you heal her,
Okay,
like
so yeah, I would get down on knee and say, "Don't worry, everything can be a little bit better with some music. Just play my lute a little bit as I cast healing word with the song."
stop singing. This isn't a place for the song. The king runs in.
And I'm going to cast it at 3rd level.
Okay. Yeah, she is fully healed. And you kind of just gently kind of as her feet kind of heal up, you can see that Sander is actually reaching down, pulling the gauntlets off of his hands and kind of like reaching down and kind of making sure her feet kind of heal and set right. I'm going to click this link real quick.
Boom, boom.
Oh. I don't even need to play the video. I know exactly what it's doing. Okay, so anywho,
That's such a great movie.
good deal.
For those following us on Twitch, it's the scene from Airplane where the woman brings the guitar out.
Right.
Oh yeah.
The lady is very appreciative, and she says, "I don't have anything I can repay you, but if we ever get out of here, if we ever get out of this camp, I'll do everything I
Repayment
can."
isn't necessary.
She's like kind of
Trust me.
flush in her face, and she's kind of got like a embarrassed kind of look on her face, and the children are kind of looking at you like solemnly, not like they're appreciative, but they're also still kind of weirded out by just the way you look. For those at home,
I'm okay with this.
Salvor is a tiefling. Sorry, I guess we didn't go for introductions for the Twitch stream. Whatever.
A tiefling that does not cast
Sorry,
the shadow
Ian.
either.
Aiden, what are you doing while they kind of go into this this tent and kind of deal with this lady?
Oh man, you gotta check the chat more often, bro.
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, dude, I know it's been a while.
Do you want to go to secret time real quick, or do you want to just have me talking about it out here?
It's up to you. That's why I put it there so you can make the call.
Okay, I'll just again this is simple stuff, so I don't think it goes too deep into like who you are. I'm pretty sure they know what you are in that regard, if you get my meaning.
Yeah.
Yes, there are markings.
That indicate what?
That indicate that this is off limits. But you would actually recognize the markings as a part of a faction set too, particularly the Mardigan family.
Are they're on the up and up, right?
They're a pretty decent, well-to-do thieves guild for sure. Roll another history check for me. Decent enough. You would know that the Mardigan family and the Fellhoods were one and the same. The Fellhoods are a splinter cell of the Mardigan family that basically kind of ripped away from the law, the don't steal from another thief, don't steal from somebody who can't really afford it, and kind of just went to more of a mafioso kind of, I don't care who you are, you're paying kind of mentality. But it would seem that the Mardigans have some control in Stormloft in that they have the refugee camp on their under their protection.
That's good to know. Word. That's all.
Okay. Kevin, after
Yep.
Zell kind of is introduced to the lady and they kind of heal her, he kind of walks out with you and he says, "I think you might be able to handle this this serious one." And he kind of walks you into a tent that's heavily enclosed, and he actually has to untie a bit to kind of get into the tent. And once inside, you see that there's probably about 6, 7 people in the tent. 6 of them are laying out on cots, and one of them is kind of sitting like at a really kind of dingy looking makeshift desk, kind of just looking over them. And every so often, as you kind of enter in, if you kind of stand there and watch for a little bit, this person at the desk is kind of gathering up water from a very very big bucket, kind of running over and like dabbing it with a rag on the people who are laying out on the cots. It looks like they're very sick, kind of coughing. It looks like they all have pails next to their beds that seem to be kind of steaming in the winter air. Make a medicine check for me, Kev.
All right. Did I do it with an advantage? Because otherwise, it's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. You're not terribly familiar with this disease from being, where you're from. You know it's a disease, but you're not terribly familiar with what it is. Sandor went in this way. Hawk, you're still back at the camp. Aiden,
Yep.
did you kind of stay with them as you were doing that, or did you go off on your own to kind of investigate the camp proper?
I'm gonna go investigate the camp proper because
Fine.
there's not much more I can do here.
Okay. And
But
then
I just kind of want to feel it out. You
no
know?
problem. Matt, was there after you healed the lady, you kind of went with Mel, right?
Yeah.
Make a medicine check.
Maybe
Oh
you can
boy,
tell me what
I get
this
a
is.
plus. Actually, I get a +3 because of Bard.
Because you're awesome.
Okay.
Because
So
of
you can
Bard.
kind of see that Mel's kind of confused by it, and you actually kind of look it over and recognize it immediately because it's a very common disease. It's known as filth fever. It's typically something that's kind of spread in dirtier areas, and one of the leading causes of it are vermin, who can kind of traffic it from person to person through bites. But these 6 people look like they are suffering heavily from filth fever. One specifically looks like they're basically in the late stages of it and might not live past the end of the 6th day.
Right. I would look over at Mel and say, Mel, obviously you would know better than me, but I think they have filth fever. Can you confirm that?"
And you
With
kind
a
of
nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
don't
Yes.
have any idea what filth fever is. So you're kind of like, I think I know what a fever
Yeah,
is.
I just wink at him.
I say, thank you, Zell. I think I can handle this then. Thank you very much. And then I go over and I'm gonna, use my lay on hands. Lay on hands. I'll go to the person who's really bad off first and see if I can use my ability to cure the disease. And if he seems to get better, then I'll know it's working.
Okay. And how many points of lay on hands do you actually have?
I actually have 45 because
Okay.
it's like your level times 5. So
You
and
spend
then you can use 5 of them usually to heal a disease.
certainly.
Usually.
So you spend the better portion of about half an hour or so kind of doing some bedside manner. Roll a charisma check for me.
Charisma check. Well, hopefully this is something I can do.
Well, you do have a decent charisma, I think.
Look at that.
That's
2
a saving
rolls.
throw.
Oh, I'd rather save. Can I roll a save? That's
No.
better. Boom. That's still pretty good.
Really
You
good.
still did fine.
Yeah, I mean you're a paladin. Charisma's one of your things. So your
It's the
bedside
same
manner,
number.
your bedside
Yeah.
manner is insanely good. And you basically spend a total number of points, which would be equal to a number I'm going to give you here in a second, 35 points, because the guy who is really far along takes kind of extra.
Right.
it looks like the Phil fever was actually
He's
kind of
doing better with you guys than with me.
increasing into something a bit more malicious. So it's kind of two diseases he was sitting on. But you kind of, heal through them. And over the course of about, 30 minutes to an hour, you manage to get everybody in this place kind of just healed up. And the lady, like after the first one, the lady with the bowl and the rag just drops it, drops to her knees and just starts praying in Elvish and just like kind of rocking back and forth on the ground. After she kind of collects herself, she runs over to you as you're kind of walking to the next person and kind of smiling as that person's like, smiling too. And she just starts kissing you on your face.
I say, no, it's not necessary. I do this. It is, it makes me
She
happy.
keeps on trying to hold you as you're like, trying to push her away. And she says like, oh, you're such a blessing. You're such a blessing. You don't know how
Mel, let her
much I
closer.
prayed
Moisture
for you.
from her mouth.
How much I prayed for you to come. How much I prayed for you to come and see us. Thank you so much. Haveru, you be blessed.
No, thank you is necessary. You're welcome. I appreciate, being able to help you. That's, it's a gift that I have that I'm happy to help. So,
she just very diligently stays with you with like the biggest and brightest smile, and each one that you cure and get back to full health and talk back into, like, hey, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay. She's just like, you thought the smile couldn't get any bigger. It does every single time. Like, she is the happiest person in the world. As you kind of finish up, she kind of sits back at her desk and is like literally just like smiling and crying into her arms at the desk. Several of the people, that get back up and are kind of healed, kind of walk over to her and kind of pat her on the back, and they, offer thanks to her because she was so diligent in her like trying to keep them, as healthy as she could. But
yeah, and I tell her, it looks like you have gone through a lot this evening. It is getting late. I recommend you get some rest now. Tomorrow is going to be, more of the same. I mean, I should say tomorrow is going to have its challenges, and you need to be ready to meet them. So, and then I'm going to say I'll have to excuse myself. It's getting late. I probably need to get some rest so I can be capable of doing stuff tomorrow. So, I
Okay.
excuse myself.
You start to head out, and you guys are, spending a little bit of time here. Zach, I mean, that information that I relayed just a minute ago is pretty much what you gather. As you're kind of heading back to where you left off with the group to kind of just gather up with them, because it is getting a little later than you'd like, a boy kind of rushes out from seemingly nowhere and kind of runs at you and kind of stops in front of you and looks up at you.
Can I help you?
He kind of looks down at the ground, looks up at you, and he then reaches into his pocket and pulls out what looks like a piece of parchment wrapped with a red ribbon. Hands it up to you.
Is this an occurrence that should be freaking me out?
Let me just relay what's happening. You are a changeling who does not look like something somebody would know, and you are walking around in a place you've never been. And this child, rushes out with a parchment and a ribbon that looks like it's expressly to be given to you, or they're just crazy and they think you're someone that you're not.
Excellent. I will take the parchment and that's it. I'm just going to take the parchment and see what the little kid does.
Okay. The kid smiles and then raises his hands up like this.
Give him a high five. You know that's what he wants.
Yeah.
Wait, raises his hands up like what?
Like
I
this.
wasn't looking. I'm sorry.
Do you see me?
Yeah, now I see you. This is now Aiden. Can I help you? Oh dear. You're gonna have to use words.
He kind of smiles, and when you do, you can see that like behind his teeth is just like a mess of scarification, no tongue.
Ah, that's probably what the parchment is for. And I'm gonna open up the piece of paper and read it.
He's holding his hand out and goes,
Don't care. Reading the piece of paper.
it's blank.
Can I insight?
Yeah. He wants you to give him a fucking tip.
I don't know. Is that insight good enough to tell that?
You're like, this kid gave me a blank piece of paper with a ribbon on it. I'm giving him shit. Kicks the kid to the side of the road.
He stabs
What
him.
I would do.
Just comes back over to him on the ground. Just
No,
That
no.
tongue's not the only thing you're losing.
Zelbor would dimension door away from him, right? And say, I got your parchment.
I don't have any more dimension doors.
So what does Aiden do? Zach.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna throw 2 silver pieces at him and well, not throw, but like,
Just
yeah, I'm just gonna like wing him in the fucking forehead with 2 pieces of fucking silver.
You drop 2 silver into his hand. He kind of looks at it and kind of looks back up at you.
All right, I pull out a dagger and put that in his hand.
He smiles and he closes his hand around the dagger and then he runs off. And then out of nowhere, he jumps behind you, stabs you in the back. Ah! With the dagger that you gave him.
Oh my gosh, it's Mike Myers!
Oh my gosh.
He's gonna have to roll pretty fucking high on that sneak attack
Natural
damage.
20. I don't have to roll dice. I'm a dungeon master. Wait, whoa.
And he's a level 20 rogue. You didn't know.
He takes the dagger and the 2
Fine,
coins,
but-
smiles up at you with his kind of broken teeth, and kind of darts off.
Remind me to buy a dagger later, guys.
As you kind of like look down at the parchment, it's still blank, and you kind of shrug, and you're kind of annoyed. But just at that second, you see just like a small trace of like what looks like ink, kind of pen out
I
across
figured
it,
I had to wait.
and it says,
Cheapskate
Yeah.
bastard.
"Keep this out of prying eyes." And as it's like written, it's also fading away from its back end. So like someone drew it out, and then someone is erasing it as it's been written.
Oh, so this is like a live feed Etch-a-Sketch type thing.
I mean, I guess maybe.
Cool. Word. All right. Or it's got its own conscience. Fuck
Oh,
yeah.
somebody trapped in the paper.
Oh man, there's so many possibilities. For real though, that's fine. I'll just put it in my pocket for now.
Do you wrap it with the ribbon?
Yeah.
Okay, and then head back.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. The group eventually comes back. You can kind of hear Hawk snoring in his tent, and you guys make it back to the camp. Tegan is also asleep, but Cassandra is still sitting there with her book, and as you kind of enter the camp, she shuts it again. Sandra kind of looks at her and smiles and says, "Have fun. Let me know when it's my watch." And he kind of walks into the tent and just falls over in the armor. His head kind of goes and turns so he can breathe out the side.
Perfect.
Oh, yes, definitely Valken.
Guess we'll have to put in earplugs and go sleep.
I can hardly hear you.
Oh. I was saying we'll have to. Oh. I just figured out why. We'll have to put in earplugs and go sleep near Hawk then, I guess.
There are a couple of tents.
Poor
Like,
guys.
yeah, there's plenty of tents. You don't have to sleep in the same
Uh,
tent as them.
I want to actually keep Cassandra some company for a while.
My own tent and clearly make it intent that I need my own tent.
In
Tent
tent,
on his own tent.
that she'll be
Do you
in.
like that? Do you like that
tent.
word? Man?
That's something
I'll
Matt
sleep
would do.
I'll sleep in a tent with Hawk. I'll just put earplugs in so that
That's
know,
fine.
at least we're together. If our tent burns down, we'll die together. So
All right.
that's
This
my
whole
thought.
day has been so intense, guys.
Yeah, intense. It's gonna get real intense
Did you?
when
Did you?
Zelbor
I saw you
is-
doing something. Did you go to Google and type tent puns?
No,
I
that
hope
was something
so.
else.
It would ruin the illusion.
That was
is what
that was knife puns.
Fair enough.
Knife
Fair
puns.
enough. Zach, you go to your own
Yeah.
tent and open up the scroll, correct?
Yeah. That's
You
exactly
do.
what I'm doing.
You see the parchment start to write, but the penmanship stays, and it says Iden, correct?
I'll write. Or, oh God, I guess
As
I'll
you kind
say
of like
out loud.
look like you're
Yes.
stumbling for something to do, you can just speak. I can hear you.
Yes.
Great. My name is Evandin Barbagezi. I think you may have heard of me.
Of course.
And it erases from the top. Everything goes away, and then writing back from the top. I am not at home, but I have detected that you have entered in. The ring you wear upon your hand alerted me to your presence. Thank you for coming to help these poor people.
Of course. I must be honest with you. I have very little other options at the time.
Oh, that is perfectly all right. I have an option for you, in that you and your friends will help the refugees for a time, but there are much larger goals that I have for you. And then it kind of like trails off in like pen at the bottom, and then everything kind of goes away again. And then you see kind of just a very simple tracing of what appears to be a dragon. Make an Arcana check. You're not terribly familiar with the outline of it, but it does look like it's an outline of a specific type of dragon. And with your check, you might be able to kind of retrace it to someone to see if you can't ask what type of dragon it might be. Because
Got it.
you are aware out of character that like all dragons kind of have their own independent look.
Yeah.
Great. And then after that kind of like fades away, I need you to speak with a friend of mine and see if they're willing to come out and help.
Who's this friend?
Oh, you'll see. And then it kind of trails off, and then it kind of goes away. And then as that happens, the scroll rolls itself up, and the ribbon flies out from wherever it was and wraps the scroll. And that is where we will leave off for tonight.
Oh man, I wanted to chat it up with Cassandra out there.
Oh, fine. Let's do the
We
sexy
don't want
talk.
that's a little bit too. That's too dirty for the Twitch, you know.
He got it on with Endruxel. I mean,
I guess you're right.
he's the
It's
James
good.
Bond of the party.
I'm a little bit of a player.
It's all right.
Fucking
Let's go ahead and get
bards,
that.
man.
Let's go ahead and let's get your rocks off, buddy. What
Yeah, dude, this is
Make
how
you
you
happy?
end up with a half tiefling, half rock summoned golem.
Oh yeah.
Which if I remember correctly, you guys don't you have a no? Never mind. Anyways, you walk over to Cassandra and like she still has her book closed, waiting for everybody to go away, and she kind of looks up at you. What?
So, what you reading?
I'm not reading. I'm writing.
Barf.
I do that occasionally.
Great.
You know, write songs down.
Wonderful. Are you looking for a conversation? She kind of looks up at you curiously.
Well, you know,
yeah.
if you're willing, yes.
I guess I must have misled you earlier or something. I'm really just interested in you magically, not anything else. I mean, you are a tiefling.
Well, yes, but I can definitely show you some magic.
Oh,
There
God.
you go.
Oh God, I might kill myself.
She. You're like, I came back for this. Put that sword back in my ass, please.
We were gonna end.
Oh, it was gonna be good. That was a tight, and wasn't that a tight like closing? Like,
it was so dope. It was so beautiful.
oh man, so cinematic. It was flawless.
It was like a goddamn TV
I'll take
show.
the hint and go to bed.
Just to have him do like the awkward fucking Frank Reynolds porn scene. So everyone just has to sit through it because he fucking paid for the movie.
Oh my god. When you do finally kind of like go back to your tent though, Zell, you do see that she does open up her book, and upon closer inspection, you actually see that she is writing, but she's not moving her hands to do it. It kind of looks like she's focusing on a pen, and the pen's moving, and just kind of like casually looking at it, you can see the outline of a spectral hand kind of floating over the quill.
Neat.
All right. Okay, so you go to sleep. Let's see. So session-wise, everybody's cool for next Friday or no?
So
Uh,
while we're doing that, so could you guys just do me a favor, and if you haven't already, fill out the Google poll. It looks like for next, everyone but Matt is available. And then I pushed it out to the end of February, and so I just put the link in chat.
yeah, I might be able to come,